Saturday night, it was more of the same for the Trailblazers as LaMarcus Aldridge hit for 24, and Brandon Roy hit another game winner. The sluggish Blazers rallied from behind and beat Minnesota. Now it's 5 straight on the road, starting in Central Florida. Orlando has won 4 straight, and Dwight Howard is putting up MVP-type numbers. Can Portland slow him down and get the trip off to a good start? It's the Blazers and Magic, and it's coming up next on Comcast Sportsnet.
Switches to his left, all around Humphries. Are you kidding me? Good botch. The trailer is Aldridge, and he jams with 2 hands. Shoots down the middle, hard time, and scores!
And we start this trip in the state of Florida. Trailblazers looking to make it 3 straight wins following Saturday night's victory over Minnesota. And inside Amway Arena tonight, the Blazers now 3-3 on the young season, take on the 4-2 Magic, who dropped their first 2 games, but have won their last 4. And welcome courtside, everyone. Mike Barrett along with Mike Rice. And of course took the Trailblazers until December 3rd to get their first road win of last season. They don't want to wait that long this year.
Especially against a team like Orlando. This would be a key win. If you can beat Orlando at Amway Arena, you can beat anybody in the East.
Well, Greg Oden is on the trip. He'll be watching from the Blazer bench tonight, and he could pick up some pointers from Dwight Howard, who's playing as well as any big man in the NBA right now.
He's a monster. You look at the stats in the NBA.
NBA with well over 4 dunks per game, and I'm sure he's looking to get a few tonight. Well, it wasn't that long ago the Trailblazers had an 11-game winning streak over this team, but now haven't beaten the Magic in a couple of seasons. We'll set the starting lineups when we come back. The Blazers and Magic on Comcast Sportsnet tonight. Tip-off is straight ahead.
Pacific Office Automation, the West's #1 office technology dealer. Over 30 years of award-winning sales, service, and customer support, featuring the most respected names in state-of-the-art office technology. Whether your company is small or large, Pacific Office Automation is the name to trust for all your document imaging needs. Locally owned, nationally recognized, the one name to remember, Pacific Office Automation.
Coors Light at McDonald's and wake up happy. By Wells Fargo, seize your someday. And by Standard TV and Appliance, we set the standard. Standard TV and Appliance.
Well, back in Orlando, the Magic wrapping up a 5-game homestand tonight, and they can make it their first 5-0 homestand ever with a victory over the Trailblazers. And we get you the Coors Light starting lineups. Brought to you by Coors Light. First for the Magic, Jameer Nelson, Michael Petrus in the backcourt, Hito Turkoglu, the 3, Richard Lewis the 4, and of course Dwight Howard inside the center for the Magic. For the Trailblazers, Blake and Roy in the backcourt, Nicholas Batum the 3, LaMarcus Aldridge at the power forward spot, and inside tonight once again Joel Priscilla, who will be tested indeed by Dwight Howard. But I think he's up to it. Well, when we get back, we'll get the keys to the game from Mike Rice. We'll get an update from Rebecca Harlow, and we'll tip it off. The Blazers going to have to slow down Dwight Howard tonight to have a chance. Although Brandon Roy has hit back-to-back game-winning shots, so there's always that. We'll get things started when we come back.
This is my new Ford Fusion.
We found that Ford's fuel economy makes quite a story when you talk to the people who drive one.
The gas mileage on the Ford Focus is amazing. The Escape had the best gas mileage for a small SUV.
To not have to stop as much for gas is always going to be a pleasant surprise.
I was really surprised that I was able to get so far on so little.
Visit a Ford dealer to see our complete lineup of fuel-efficient vehicles.
Now with $2,500 cash back, pay under $13,200 for an 09 Focus. That's $2,500 cash back on Focus. See your Northwest Ford stores today.
Well, Orlando lost its first game of the season in this building to Atlanta. A loss that doesn't look that bad now, seeing how well Atlanta is playing, and they lost their second game but have won their last 4. Time to get you the Northwest Ford Store's keys to the game. Coach Rice, what are your keys?
Defend the jump shooters. This team took the second most three-pointers in the NBA last year. You got to get out on them on the three-point line. Win the free throw battle. That's going to be difficult. They've shot 40 more free throws than their opponents so far this year, 50 more than the Blazers. And the Blazers have to shoot over 45%. Orlando has held their opponents in the last 4 games to 40% shooting. They've got to do better than that tonight.
The Corona Coaches Corner tonight. For that, we go to assistant coach Dean Demopoulos. Coach, what will it take to get that first road win tonight?
You know, you have to take care of the basketball when you have it. When you don't have it, you have to go get it. Hopefully they get one bad shot and we rebound it and we run. But the things that win in this league happen both at home and on the road. You've got to be solid in everything you do, and you have to come out with the 48 minutes of hard effort from everyone.
All right, that is the Corona Coaches Corner. Blazers out in their traveling road red uniforms, and in her traveling black ensemble, it's Rebecca Harlow. Good evening, Rebecca.
Good evening, Mike. You know, the Blazers have one immediate goal here in the Sunshine State, and that is to grab their first win on the road away from home. Of course, they're 3-0 at home. They're 0-3 on the road, and we've got some numbers so you can check out just how productive they've been home versus road. Now, if you check this out, at home, they're shooting 46.3%. On the road, it's 41.3%. From three-point land, it's good. On the road, they're 45.1%. At home, they're 34%. Now, rebounds, 35.7% on the road. Home, it's 43.3%. Now, this one's a little bit tricky because they're doing really well with offensive boards. It's the defensive boards that they need to attack just a little bit more. And, of course, there's a 10-point spread there in the points. You know, what's the key to the success for the guys? Channing Frye says it's defensive rebounds in the first half so that they're not stuck playing catch-up in the second half, especially on the road, guys.
Well, you know, that's what Dwight Howard does best. He leads the NBA in offensive rebounds, and the Blazers on the road are the worst defensive rebounding team. So, Channing Frye.
What are you saying?
I know Channing Frye knows what the key is. I'm just hoping that he's ready to go against Dwight Howard, and I think he will be tonight if the Blazers are in early foul trouble.
And Prisbilla wins the opening tip. Howard in their last game against Washington, 31 points on 11 of 13 shooting, 16 rebounds and 3 block shots, and hardly broke a sweat. And Stan Van Gundy said, as Brandon Roy takes a jumper out top early and misses it, Aldridge offensive board and worked around Rashard Lewis, so a second opportunity. But Van Gundy has said that's the best game he's ever seen Dwight Howard play.
Yeah, all the way around, both ends he was playing.
Blake pulls up. His jumper's been a little off, so it's good to see him hit the first attempt, and the Blazers an early lead.
Well, you have to play like you play against Shaq. You try to pick and roll, bring Shaq out. You do the same with Dwight Howard. Pick and roll, see if he's energetic enough to come out. He wasn't that time.
Michael Petras, a 3 is off the mark, and Batum rips that rebound away from Prisbilla, and we head the other way.
They'll shoot threes. We talked about it early last year. second in three-pointers attempted, and they'll still shoot them up this year.
Blake along 2 is good, just inside the three-point line. So Steve Blake starts with a couple of makes. He was just 3 for 10 in the win on Saturday over Minnesota. So early on looks to have his shooting eye back.
Jameer Nelson is a little slow of foot. Oh.
Foul on Przybilla, free throws for Howard. Not what Portland needs in the first 90 seconds of the game. Joel has got to stay out of foul trouble tonight.
And that should have been everybody's key to success tonight, because the Blazers really don't have another physical center that can go against Dwight Howard.
Well, they do. He's just not in uniform tonight.
Yeah, right. When I watched him practice yesterday, well, we'll wait for Rebecca Harlow. She's got a little something on.
Oh, you're holding off?
Yes.
On information?
Yeah, because Rebecca said
not sure how to feel about that.
She's got a little something.
There's your man Bob Delaney, Matt Boland, and Michael Smith, the officials. Delaney, of course, the senior official in that crew at 22nd year. They always give you a veteran official in a crew, a middle-of-the-range guy like Michael Smith, as far as years go, I mean, his 16th year, and then the young guy, Matt Boland, in his 6th.
Did you ever read his book on how he was undercover for the Jersey State Police with the Mafia? So
Bobby Covert.
Yeah, I figure if he can get through that, he can get through an NBA game.
Yeah, the stuff that you say to him from courtside doesn't tend to bother him quite as much as maybe you think it should.
He's always inventing calls, in my way of thinking.
Roy bumped and misses the bucket. And Michael Smith giving a little all-star treatment to Brandon Roy, and that's nice to see. The foul is on Michael Petrus. And 2 free throws coming for Roy. As the Blazers with Orlando tonight. We go to Miami after this game tonight. Wednesday night, a rare day off between the Miami-Orlando games. We almost never have that.
Right.
But there is a day off tomorrow in Miami.
And for you fans that know about Biscayne Bay's tennis resort.
Oh, I see.
We'll be there tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Although more of a state park than a resort, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's scattered showers too tomorrow in Miami, and oh, it's not going to be that warm. 84.
Oh. You'll still have a sweater on, though, I'm sure. Howard left side. No Blazers come to his side of the floor, as Howard obviously runs the court well as well.
That's how he led the NBA in dunks the last 3 years. You try to press him, and you don't check him underneath, you're going to get a dunk.
But Przybilla smart enough not to go up and challenge in a situation like that. He knows that Howard's got the bucket. Don't make it worse and give yourself a second foul. Now Orlando pressing the perimeter D. Blake is fouled on his way up by Jameer Nelson. So Portland getting to the foul line, something Orlando normally does so well.
Stan Van Gundy got up and yelled at Jameer Nelson about not checking Blake when Blake made the 2 first field goals of the game. So that time Jameer Nelson, he's a very physical point guard, but a little against quicker guards. Now Blakey's not one of the quick ones in the NBA, but Blakey that time challenged him again and picked up another foul on Jameer.
He's sneaky quick.
Blake?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't.
I'd hate to, see it get back to him that you didn't. You called him slow of foot.
Well, Blakey never really tries to challenge with his speed. He's looking for other people to pass to.
Beat you with his mind. As something you always did as a player.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Too bad I didn't do it on the SATs.
What SATs?
Yeah.
It's back before those were invented.
Right.
Lewis, baseline. Petrus tried to throw it down. Tries to grab his own miss, too, and is thrown to the floor by his own teammate, Howard. Blazers back 4 on 3. Blake out to Roy. Wouldn't take the 3. Przybilla trailing the play. Howard blocks it off the glass.
He's getting 4 blocks a game. That leads the NBA, and he kind of swatted Joel's stuff away.
Hedo Turkoglu, second foul on Przybilla, and a bucket and a free throw for Turkoglu. Forget the three-point play. The costly maneuver there is the foul he picked up on Joel. He will have to go down. Channing Frye will come in, and the Blazers get small. They're going to go to Outlaw, so they're going to get really small.
Yeah, well, Turkoglu, that's how he's improved his game the last 2 years. He now can put it on the floor. He's a great three-point shooter, but when you go out to challenge him on the perimeter, now he can put it on the ground and go around you, and the Blazers kind of left Joel on an island by himself. Right. And Joel, he's got to protect against Dwight Howard, and he's got to bring in try to help out on a guy like Turkoglu. So now Joel's on the bench, and the Blazers, they'll really go into Dwight Howard now.
We've always talked for so long about how Przybilla, as Roy working against Petrus, beautiful move. Roy gets some space and hits it. How Przybilla has almost been a goalie back there between the pipes, covering for perimeter defensive mistakes, and that being the case here has cost him 2 quick fouls. Turkoglu takes it on Batum. Batum knocks it away. Blake up ahead. Outlaw with Lewis tracking him. And Travis throws it up short. A little off balance. Probably should have waited for some help.
Or powered it up. Gather yourself up.
Blazers small. Howard knows it. He goes deep and scores easily.
And that's what he can do, Dwight Howard. Runs the court. Very much like Greg Oden will do. He can run the court and beat people down. LaMarcus Aldridge can do that. Not a lot of big guys in the NBA can beat everybody down.
Blake, pick and pop Aldridge. He gives to Batum. Now to the corner for Travis for 3. Is he on fire from behind the three-point line or what? Outlaw now 11 for 16 on the season. Jameer Nelson gets 2 back the other end.
They'd like to pick the tempo up a little bit. And I imagine Nate wouldn't mind either. With Travis Outlaw in there at the power forward, I think he can do a job on Rashard Lewis.
The left side opens. Roy with a head fake and a little bit of a crossover. And Orlando bid on it. And Brandon off to a nice start in this game with 6 early points.
Now Dwight Howard had to stay out on LaMarcus Aldridge with that good outside shot. So now maybe Dwight Howard won't be blocking as many shots because he has to stay out on LaMarcus.
3rd team foul on Portland. The personal goes to Blake. Take a look at Roy. He just a little hesitation caused Petrus to pull up, and it caused Howard to try and help out defensively, and that left the side open for Roy.
Now I'll tell you how smart Roy is. Next time he'll do the same thing. Howard will drop back and he'll hit LaMarcus.
Nelson to Petrus. He comes down the middle and dunks with the right hand. And Michael Petrus, a great athlete, never could get the minutes at Golden State. He was dangled out there last season. Nobody went to trade for him. And he wound up here in Orlando and playing against fellow countryman Batum, of course, tonight, as Petrus from France as well.
Yeah, now Batum and Batum.
Roy, beautiful move. How did he get that around Howard? And he shot past Petrus a few times now. Turkoglu for 3 the other way.
See, Travis and Nicholas aren't getting back and getting out. They're not helping enough. They really have to help out. And it's difficult against this team because Rashard Lewis and Turkoglu both can shoot the outside shot.
Roy missed the shot, but will shoot free throws. He is abusing Petrus right now at the offensive end, and that's why Portland has the lead. Roy with 8 points, going to try and make it double figures here with just under 7 minutes left first quarter.
See, Roy has just a little bit too much quickness. Petrus was a guy that thought Don Nelson played mind games with him with the Warriors. He played 20 minutes a game already as a starter here in Orlando. He signed as a free agent. He's playing 27 minutes.
But he's going to come out right now because Stan Van Gundy's seeing the same things that we are.
Yeah. Now, Bogan's a little tougher defender than Petrus. So now they'll really, what Bogans will try to do is overplay Roy and keep him from touching the ball. As we said in our pregame, MB.
Yes.
Bench.
Bench, that was your X factor.
So important, yes. So important tonight. Already Travis is in the game, and
Turkoglu left open, wouldn't take the jumper. Goes high off the glass over Aldridge and gets it down. So Hedo Turkoglu with 7 points. He's the leading scorer now for the Magic.
Now remember, Turkoglu is 6'10", playing the small forward spot. So he's a difficult coverage, and he can, as we said, put it on the ground.
That ball kicked by Turkoglu, or off his leg anyway. No shot clock reset. It's at 11. LaMarcus Aldridge has yet to take a shot. Normally, Portland tries to get him established immediately. Why have they changed things tonight?
Well, partly because Joel's out of the game. What they have to do is bring big Dwight Howard outside on the pick and roll, just like this right now.
Shot clock at 5. Blake gets the pick. Now going to take Howard inside. Travis wasn't aware of the clock, and the Blazers turn it over.
And Blake was yelling at him to shoot. Roy was yelling at him to shoot. It was a tough position to put Travis Outlaw in, but still, you've got to recognize, hey, the clock has to be running down. Blake probably was trying to get the ball to LaMarcus, but he got too deep.
First turnover for Portland as we're halfway through the first quarter. Turkoglu guarded out top by Batum. Howard trying to take Aldridge. And the jump hook, boy, has he improved on that shot right there. And he puts it down, and already Dwight Howard with 8 points to lead Orlando. Roy with 10 already for Portland.
That's why they shot so many three-pointers last year. Everybody doubled Dwight Howard. The Blazers aren't tonight. That's why Dwight Howard's hurting them.
Aldridge takes it outside, missed the jumper. Here's Howard in the open court. Aldridge bumps, and to the free throw line will be Howard, and Howard not a good free throw shooter. But Orlando already with an 11-0 advantage in fast break points. That last play a big reason why. And we're tied at 19. Dwight Howard will try and give the Magic the lead when we come back.
You know I love you for this one. Whoa, 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 Mr. Busy Man. You got time for breakfast? My girl hooked us up this morning. Looks great. Tell you what. I'll just take it to go. That's my boy.
Wake up to a bundle of delicious breakfast joy. Now McDonald's McSkillet Burrito comes with tender, juicy, all-white meat chicken breast.
Now, if your girl can make these, she can move in. Whoa.
Hey, sorry to keep you waiting. I was cleaning up. I'm a neat freak. Are you ready to catch the movie?
Yeah, totally.
Let's go. Oh, couch.
Someday, a new couch. Today, open a Wells Fargo free checking account and get unique tools that make managing your money easy. Seize yours someday at Wells Fargo.
Good morning, Marquette. You hear about this Dwayne Wade recruit? He's got academic problems. He's not even going to play. This guy.
So there's Miami with a monumental waste of a draft pick.
Kidding me, he's injured again. The guy's a bleeder. I hope you save the receipt, Miami.
Yeah, well, of course he got a gold in China. Let's not forget what else he's got. A bum shoulder, weak knees, a glass jaw, more injuries than he's got joints. What do you think, Miami? Phone lines are open.
Well, the defense isn't that bad, but Orlando shooting 8 for 10, Portland 6 for 10, so not a lot of missed shots yet. We go down to Rebecca Harlow. Give us an update on Greg Oden. When are we going to get him back?
Mike Rice, you're so sneaky. You knew that I was going to bring this update. You know, guys, hopefully the answer to that question is very soon. Greg is with the team. Last night he was able to walk through shoot-around with the guys, which was progress. Today, he was out on the floor warming up. He was shooting some jump shots, as you see there. He was also able to work on some low post moves. I talked to General Manager Kevin Pritchard, who said that his progress has been very positive. He's up to running. He's not had a lot of contact yet, but they are going to reevaluate him in Miami. And Blazer fans, keep your fingers crossed because he could be back sometime on this road trip.
And that's before the ball game, and they're hoping, hoping Wednesday night, perhaps, Greg, see some action against Miami.
Well,
if he plays well in practice tomorrow in Miami and is pain-free.
Yeah, he did more than walk. He ran. I watched him run full court, no contact. It was in those drills, and then he got into half court. They were working on some zone, and he worked against it, and so he did more than I went to practice simply because I wanted to see how he had progressed, and I was amazed how far he'd come. And he didn't look like he was running in any pain or anything with the ankle, so with the foot. So
well, and Nate told me before the game that I was frankly kind of surprised last night he was able to go as much as he did up and down the court. And then, as you said, and as Nate said, I didn't hear anything from Jay Jensen, so that means all is fine, at least for right now, as far as the injured foot goes. As Rudy Fernandez heads to the table, he'll check in next dead ball.
Yeah, I think everybody was amazed last night. Kevin Pritchard, Nate McMillan, Mike Rice, we all just kind of looked and said, man, this guy's ready.
Aldridge trying to bring Howard outside. Had a shot, wouldn't take it. Shot clock down to 7. Roy flashes past Bogans. Now Aldridge baseline. A shot that's got to go down for him. It doesn't. Outlaw keeps it alive, and Roy comes out of there with it. Travis for another 3. This one off the iron. Blake trying to grab the rebound, but it's won by Nelson. Nelson to Bogans for 3. Long rebound Howard. Howard over Aldridge, missed it badly, and the rebound Roy.
His first 2 years, he missed a lot of shots like that. He was 4th in the NBA in turnovers behind 3-point guards. So he turned the ball up. He's not doing that this year.
Outlaw, good defense by Turkoglu, but Travis just hit a difficult shot. We're tied again at 21.
You can make Turkoglu move laterally, you'll score on him. You know, he's 6'10". He's not a bad mover, but I think Travis can score if he goes sideways.
Jameer Nelson short with that elbow jumper, and Aldridge out battles Howard for the rebound.
I have a feeling Aldridge will sleep well tonight after this ball game. He's battling the big guy.
Blake taking Nelson down low, finds the cutter. That's Aldridge. Boy, LaMarcus, a nice job to fill that lane and get to a place where Blake could find it.
And Blake looked for, because you always want to see if Dwight Howard's loafing a little bit on defense. That time he was.
We got a foul out top, and that's going to be on Outlaw. And that whistle blew, and Aldridge is in the area. You just didn't want to see it be on LaMarcus if you're a Blazer fan. Here's that last trip.
Yeah, look at it, and look at the head turning. That looked like someone in junior high, Dwight Howard. What he was looking for Blake to dribble back, and he was going to try to block the shot. Blake knew better.
And Blazers in the penalty now, so free throws for Turkoglu. We want to give a shout out to Meadow Forest, Alex, Carrie, Carol, and Matt, and all the Blazer maniacs watching. That's from Wayne and Carrie, and they came and found us before the game.
They were at the hotel getting autographs. They did a nice job.
All they yelled was from the stands, "Don't let Rice cheat on the athletic trivia quiz." That's the first thing I heard, and I walked in the door. Well, somebody has league pass.
Yeah, they have league pass, I guess. Down here in Orlando.
Free throws made by Turkoglu, and we're tied at 23. Good first quarter here from Orlando. Blazers kicking off the first of 4 straight. Well, there's 5 straight on the road, 4 on this trip. Then we come home for a day and go to San Francisco. Aldridge working against Howard, poked away and out of bounds. 9 to shoot.
Howard got hit right in the jaw by LaMarcus Aldridge,
like the throat,
right in the
maybe.
throat.
He's having trouble swallowing.
Oh, you don't think he'd go out of the game for about 10 minutes?
I think maybe he ought to take 10, 20 minutes off.
Take a rest,
just
big
in
guy.
case.
Yeah.
There's a bigger problem there.
He's too valuable.
Roy. Aldridge, top of the key, wouldn't pull the trigger. Travis will, just inside 3-point land, and he hits it with 2 on the shot clock.
Once again, Dwight Howard would not come out. Turkoglu had to switch onto LaMarcus Aldridge outside. That left Travis wide open. Good passing by the Blazers.
Good start for Outlaw. 7 points in 6 minutes off the Blazer bench. Jameer Nelson nearly stripped away by Outlaw. Shot clock down to 8. Courtney Lee for 3. That's short. And the rebound pulled down by LaMarcus.
Anytime they don't want to switch, throw it into Dwight Howard is a good time down the court for the Blazers.
Blake hesitates. Howard tries to come out. That rattles in and out, and the rebound finally secured by Howard.
That's what Blakey has to do. He has to keep the big people occupied by driving. Then he can hit somebody open.
Howard too deep. Aldridge knocks it away, and the foul's going to be on Rudy from behind and not Aldridge. That's a break for Portland. But either way, it'll be free throws for Howard. An offensive first quarter. Orlando's only been giving up about 85 points a game.
Have you heard about our new Trailblazer ticket alert service?
Sign up now at trailblazer.com and get first access to newly released tickets throughout the season.
With the way our tickets are selling,
it may be your best way to get special access to tickets.
Dunks it with 2 hands.
Plus, you also get a 10% discount at our online Trailblazers fan shop.
Lob to Rudy, and he lays it up and in.
Sign up now for Ticket Alert on trailblazers.com and start getting the inside track on tickets.
The company that's brought America stylishly affordable vehicles has now made it even easier. Now you can get $5,000 cash back on the Kia Sedona minivan and the Kia Sorento midsize SUV. Both come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty and a 5-star crash safety rating. That's 2 incredible vehicles, 1 incredible deal. With $5,000 cash back, how can you afford not to?
Subway, home of the famous $5 footlong, like our fresh toasted black forest ham with cheese and our newest $5 footlong, the Fresh Delicious Chicken Pizziola. $5 footlongs all day, every day. At Subway.
2:46 left opening quarter. Blazers kicking off this road trip tonight and have a 2-point lead over the Magic. Well, we mentioned the Aflac trivia question in the last segment, and Coach Rice, here is your question tonight.
Oh, okay.
We're going political. Who was the first U.S. president to attend an NBA game, and when was it?
Oh, man. You know, I'm not being that old.
Right. Compared to what?
I have to think back in the history books rather than personal knowledge.
Right. Well, this was certainly while you were alive. I mean, because the NBA hasn't been around.
Right. But I'll have to first president, huh?
Yeah,
okay.
to attend an NBA game.
We'll put some thought into that.
Okay. And, you know, it is not going to be like Jefferson or Washington because the NBA hasn't been around.
Right. It's not like baseball.
Blazers shooting 56% in this ball game. And Orlando at 57%. Orlando's been scoring about 105 points a game in their last 4 during this winning streak. They started the season off scoring 85 against Atlanta and 84 against Memphis. And that was kind of a concern, as you see fast break points also concerned, 13-0 for the Magic. But after those first 2, and as I said earlier, their loss to Atlanta here to start the season looked like a bad loss, but now with the way that Atlanta's playing, it doesn't look so bad anymore.
Yeah, Atlanta, one of the only 2 undefeated teams in the NBA. But Stan Van Gundy's done a marvelous job since those first 2 games. He's turned everything around. The defense is so much better these last 4 games. And this is the Orlando team that they figure will fight. They were 3rd best last year in the East, record-wise, 52-30. And this guy, if he keeps shooting foul shots, then he'll have no weaknesses.
Coming into this game, he was shooting 49% at the line, but in the first quarter, Dwight Howard is 6 for 6.
What's that all about? I don't know. Man.
Aldridge, the pick for Roy. He pops out, shoots the jumper over Howard, and that's going to be Portland's bread and butter if they're to win this game.
They're not rotating over to LaMarcus. They're letting the big guy stop the pick and roll and then run back and get the pick man, LaMarcus Aldridge. That's not going to work. LaMarcus going to have a field day unless he gets out of the game on foul trouble.
Right.
Nice by Blake.
Bad pass. Howard threw it away. Blake creates a 3-on-2. Rudy Fernandez for 3. God, is Rudy filling that left lane and spotting up.
And is Blake playing both ends of the court. Defense, he stops Dwight Howard with a double team. Then he goes down and finds Rudy right away.
Rashard Lewis has not been hitting threes. He's been taking them, but he hasn't been hitting them. And we got a loose ball foul called on Portland. That's on LaMarcus Aldridge, away from the ball. You can't have that.
Yeah, he was trying to box out, and it's so difficult. The big guy can move. His feet are so quick to Dwight Howard. As you see Rudy Fernandez finishing that beautiful fast break. Blazers, once again, 2nd worst team in the NBA in fast break points. So they don't get a lot of easy ones. When they do, you've got to think that is maybe the way Nate wants to play later in the year when he gets his big guy back.
There's a first miss from Howard at the free throw line as Channing Frye, Sergio Rodriguez in. Blake, who's played very well, you mentioned that, and Aldridge sit down for Portland. Blake 6 points, 3 assists in his first shift, and Aldridge 4 points, 4 rebounds, but 2 fouls as he's picked up his second moments ago.
Now they can still work the pick and roll with Channing Frye and make the big guy, Dwight Howard, try to defend, make decisions on that, because Channing Frye can shoot the outside shot. The Blazers on the other end don't want to leave the 3-point shooters open in double team, but they're going to have to. Channing Frye will get his legs and arms broken if he plays straight up.
Inside 2 minutes for the quarter. Bogans out on Roy. Brandon 10 first quarter points. Channing Frye a long 2 is short. Sergio trying to keep it alive, but Bogans finally digs it out of there for the Magic.
Now Channing Frye can't try to, just because he's open, shoot it too quick. Let's play with the big guy a little bit till you get into the game a little.
Oh, Sergio picks his pocket from behind. Howard tries to save. And it's out of bounds off Orlando as Howard will sit down. Tony Battie checks in. And so now Orlando going pretty heavy with the bench.
Well, their bench
Anthony Johnson in as well. Take a look at Superman here.
Oh, man. I'll tell you what, when your big 7-footer dives for a loose ball, you know he's playing basketball.
Sergio lost the dribble a little bit, would have had an open lane. Anthony Johnson on him. Now goes to Roy against Bogans. Brandon surveys. Boy, Orlando's defense overloaded. That leaves Outlaw open for 3 again. Are you kidding me?
They're leaving him open to double team. That time they almost triple team Roy. 3 guys were coming for him. They left Travis Outlaw wide open. Maybe 3 years ago you did that. You can't leave Travis Outlaw open on that perimeter any longer.
Travis Outlaw just lights out from behind the 3-point line so far this season. He's doing it again tonight. Blazers now with their largest lead. Bogans turns the corner. Foul's going to be on Fry. So free throws coming for Bogans.
Foul number 44, Channing Fry. His first penalty.
The big guy, Dwight Howard, for you fans that are wondering how long he'll be on the bench, he's playing around 38 minutes a game. So, you know, they do give him a rest, but they know, Stan Van Gundy, that Joel Przybilla has 2, LaMarcus Aldridge has 2. If they can get Dwight Howard back in there against the Blazer bench, it should be easy pickings for this big all-star. Right now, he's the dominating center in the NBA.
So Bogans makes a pair. Orlando 11 for 13 from the free throw line in the first quarter. The 8 attempts, of course, by Howard leading the way. Here's Sergio, turns the corner, but T doesn't come to him. Outlaw might as well shoot a 3, Travis. As Rudy down low off the hands of Fry. Blazers turn it over. We talked so much about closing quarters, and they want to do it here. They should get a final look at it, as there is about a 5-6 second difference shot clock, game clock.
Well, Fry should know Rudy Fernandez by now. He throws a lot of passes when he's looking the other way, so you have to be ready.
Pick out top by Lewis. That leaves Johnson open. Back to Bogans for 3. It's long. Rebound Outlaw.
Yeah.
4 seconds. 3 seconds. Sergio. Rudy for 3. Got it at the buzzer. Sergio finding his pal from Spain, and he knocks it down.
Magic.
They end the first quarter 4 for 5 from behind the 3-point line. Is that fool's gold or is that okay?
No, that's all right against this ball club. That was unbelievable, both by Sergio and Rudy. The Spanish connection does it again.
Outlaw and Fernandez combined for 16 off the Blazer bench. Must be short on heroes in Orlando, I'll tell you that.
Okay, this is our family. My husband and I have 3 kids, so we're outnumbered. Here's our son Chaz during his brother's birthday party. Here's what we bring home in one shopping trip. And this is our Fred Meyer rewards card. You use it every time you shop at Fred Meyer. Then they send you a reward, which is like as good as cash at Freddy's. So we buy this anyway. Why not get a reward for it? It's like getting paid just for doing our shopping. So I'm happy, my husband's happy, even Chaz is happy. Not here, but he's happy. Anyway, that's why we use our rewards card.
I love steak, man.
Enjoy your steaks, gentlemen.
Is this it?
You didn't order?
Oh, valet's getting mine. I'm not a steak guy anymore, you know? Oh, there it is. Triple steak burrito. See, I'm more of a triple steak kind of guy.
Oh.
Taco Bell's new triple steak burrito. Steak, steak, and more grilled marinated steak. There's steak night, then there's triple steak night.
Triple steak guys, that's what we are. In here.
Hope I don't miss work this Christmas.
Yeah, how will you pay for things like food, electricity?
Dental bills.
Gadzooks! You need a backup plan.
That's why we have Aflac.
So I'll have cash to help pay bills.
Right, but what if you're still not better by Christmas?
Aflac, ask about it at work. Rudolph's better. But now Blitzen's sick.
Coming up on Comcast Sportsnet.
Wednesday at 5 p.m. against Dwayne Wade in the Miami Heat. Friday at 5 p.m. against Chris Paul in the New Orleans Hornets. Saturday at 5 p.m. against Al Jefferson and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Catch all the action on Comcast Sportsnet, your home of the Portland Trail Blazers. Game on.
Blazers by 8 after a season-high 36 points in a quarter for Portland in that first. Well, Kia Motors and the Blazers teaming up to give you a great offer. Test drive any new Kia vehicle at a participating Greater Portland Kia retailer and get 2 tickets to an upcoming Blazers game. For complete details, log on to trailblazers.com. Blazers in the quarter on a 13-5 run. Outlaw 2 for 3 from three-point land, and Rudy 2 for 2.
Yeah, we talked about the bench as our key to the game. So far, it's 16-2 in the Blazers' favor, and there's the guy right there along with Travis Outlaw really lighting it up. And those were 2 tough threes. Everyone in the league knows that Rudy Fernandez is the leading rookie in the NBA shooting three-pointers percentage-wise.
Magic with it. Courtney Lee, the rookie, out to Hedo Turkoglu, who can shoot the 3.
Yeah, they ran out on Lee, which they shouldn't have, and they didn't close on Turkoglu. So as the bench, you've got to recognize that Rashard Lewis and Turkoglu are the guys that can shoot the threes. Johnson and Lee can.
Oh, Sergio around Anthony Johnson. Just spun him dizzy and laid it up with the right hand.
Anthony Johnson has played with 6 different teams in the NBA, and he won't get number 7 if he continues like that.
You see Rashard Lewis's struggles from three-point land. He normally takes that shot. He wouldn't. Drove and got a better look, and it's a 5-point Portland lead.
That's when Outlaw and Nicholas really have to help out with some blocks. Both of them are very capable of it. Oh.
Sergio out to Outlaw. Shot clock at 7. Here's Rudy. Turns the corner against Courtney Lee, a fellow rookie. Rudy tries to go glass, and it's a little bit short. And the rebound, Tony Battie.
Turkoglu at 6'10", handling the ball.
Here's Battie from a little bit outside his range, and it's off the mark. The 36 points in the first quarter, a season high for a quarter for Portland. The previous high, 31 against Houston. It's a beautiful move by Rodriguez.
It really was. Nice penetration. At the same time, Dwight Howard's not in there, so Sergio knew I can shoot this ball rather than pass it back out.
Rudy faked the 3. Does that create space or what? Just when he's pulls up and looks like he might take a 3 as Batum got a hand on that but knocked it out of bounds.
It's important that LaMarcus Aldridge and Channing Frye tonight make that outside shot. They are not going outside on them, both when Dwight Howard's in the game or when Battie is in the game. He will not go out.
Shot clock down to 12. Here's Rashard Lewis. Finally dared to take it by Travis. Yeah. That's how things have been going for Rashard Lewis from behind the three-point line.
And he's one of the great three-point shooters in the NBA. At least he was last year. This year, as you said, MB,
he's about 26% now in
the
season.
He's in a slump.
Frye holding against Battie. Sergio gave him a lane to pass, and he lays it in with the left. Boy, Sergio being aggressive offensively here in this ball game tonight. A couple of assists, 4 points. Nice shift off the bench.
Well, he's got a guy named Bayless that really wants to play in the NBA. So Sergio knows he's got to do a little bit more out on the court than just pass the ball. You got to score, got to play some defense. Right here, here's the flat cut down the middle behind the defenders. Orlando really turning their heads when the ball goes into the low post.
Johnson up top, Sergio on him. The pick, Battie. Shot clock down to 10. Courtney Lee, the rookie. Nobody on Turkoglu. Batum recovers very nicely. Boy, does he make up ground. And the ball shot somehow finds its way down. Turkoglu, tough shot.
That time Batum did finish it up very well and get out on Turkoglu. But as we said, he can put it on the ground.
Yeah, that's going to save Portland a turnover, and that should be control, so Portland should get a new shot clock as Dwight Howard back in the ball game for the Magic.
Well, you've got a tired Channing Frye now. Guess where they're going to go with the ball?
And I would guess to a large man.
Yeah, and if they don't, I think there's some point guards that should have their hands slapped.
As we mentioned in the pregame show, don't be surprised to see Ike Diagu with some action tonight for Portland.
Yeah.
He's played a little bit here and there the last couple of games, and hey, he's got 6 fouls and is a strong player. So Prisbilla picking up 2 quick ones. Aldridge got 2 in that first quarter. Frye's done a good job to be careful with that. He has just 1. But I think everybody's going to get a turn on Howard tonight. You and I maybe.
Absolutely. And the bench continues 20-2. 20-2 for Portland's bench. And that's what's keeping them in the game. But they're going to have to bring Roy and one of the starters back in soon, because they are getting all their starters in the game except Jameer Nelson.
Not sure why Dwight Howard was allowed into the game at that point. He came to the table and he was way too late. And then they finally talked about it and let him in. He should not have been allowed to enter at that possession. Channing Frye from the outside from Rudy just rattles out, and Turkoglu picks up the Orlando rebound, as well as Portland has played in this game and shot. And they only lead it by 5. Foul on Batum out top. 8:42 left here in the first half. Blazers 58% shooting, and Orlando at 52. Blazers starting the road trip tonight and looking good so far, thanks to the Spanish connection.
Rasmussen BMW's year-end event is on now. That means exceptional values and special lease and finance options available from BMW Financial Services. Discover the Rasmussen difference at Rasmussen BMW and RasmussenBMW.com.
Digital TV is coming this February. You've got questions. The experts at Standard TV and Appliance have answers. Choosing a plasma, LCD, or DLP TV? What size? What brand? Will you be watching movies or video gaming? And what accessories will you need? Standard can help with a huge selection of top-name brands and a low price guarantee. So you'll be ready for the amazing picture quality of HD TV. Standard TV and Appliance and KGW, your digital experts.
Pam, I can explain.
How dare you!
You bought a playoff tickets for an anniversary gift. If love is a game, you're a loser, so take cover with Shroom and Swiss. Watch out for that big TV set. It looks like you're already missed. Ha, ha, ha. Mushrooms wrapped in melted cheese and a gentle Angus kiss. The sweetest thing from Burger King. New steakhouse, Shroom and Swiss.
Rasmussen BMW's year-end event makes getting into a new BMW easier than ever. Plus, special lease and finance rates are available from BMW Financial Services. Discover the Rasmussen difference at Rasmussen BMW and RasmussenBMW.com.
5-point Portland lead here in Orlando. 8:42 left first half. Blazers regular season individual game tickets are on sale right now. Don't miss your shot to see these guys. These are your individual game tickets at the Rose Quarter box office, trailblazers.com, or you can always call 503-797-9600. You can do that right now, for that matter. Travis Outlaw off to a nice start in this ball game. Your X factor was the bench, and Travis a part of that.
Yeah, and he's moving around, making them come out. Blazers have only been to the foul line 6 times because they're taking outside shots. I don't know if it's fool's gold or not, but they're shooting over 50%. Problem is, once again, that the opponent is shooting over 50%, as the Blazers are giving up 50% shooting on the season. They've got to cut that down a little.
Well, in their last 2 games against Philadelphia and Washington, as we got an offensive foul on Dwight Howard. We go the other way, but in Orlando's last 2 games, they've held their opponents under 40% shooting. Portland at 58 right now.
They've got so much length with Rashard Lewis and Turkoglu at 6'10" each. They just back off and they make you shoot outside. Now the big guy, Dwight Howard, will not check Joel. He'll stay in that middle in a one-man zone. There he is right there.
Sergio drives the middle and throws it away. Batum came inside, and Sergio is now talking to Nicholas, saying, I thought you were going to the corner. But that is just the 3rd Portland turnover.
Yeah, what he has to do is alley-oop to Joel Przybilla, because Dwight Howard is playing that zone in the middle, and I think Joel can sneak in behind him.
Oh, a foul on Batum out top.
I can't. That's the 2nd foul, the ticky-tacky foul they've called on Nicholas. I can't
3rd foul on Batum, and didn't look to be using the hands that time, but he will have to sit down, and Brandon Roy back in. So Batum with 3. And team foul-wise, it's 3-0. Portland here in the quarter.
Well, Roy can check Turkoglu, although there's a 4.5-inch difference. Turkoglu doesn't post up that much. He puts it on the floor or he shoots a 3-pointer.
Lewis backing down on Outlaw. Short jumper is off, and Przybilla grabs the defensive board. That's Joel's first. He got those 2 quick fouls and hasn't played. Only played 4 minutes so far in this game.
LaMarcus Aldridge hasn't come back from him getting 2 fouls, and he'll be big in this ball game. You saw Channing Frye miss 3 easy ones. That's the shots LaMarcus has to make later.
Sergio out to Outlaw. Goes right past Lewis. Howard challenges him and knocks Outlaw to his back, and Orlando with the ball heading the other way.
Well, I don't know what they were looking at.
Lewis for 3, short, well short, air ball. Boy, he's thinking about it now. And Rudy takes it away from Howard. Outlaw on the floor, and it's off of Portland, out of bounds. Well, you like the Blazer hustle as players diving after loose balls, and at the other end, you like the attacking mode of Travis Outlaw. And not able to get a call as we take a look at the replay you just saw.
That's what the guards have to do, because Dwight Howard takes a little time to gain himself to for the dunk. And as we said, last year he averaged 4 turnovers a game.
Nelson inside, Howard. Too deep.
Yeah, if you let him catch it in there, the best thing to do is let the guy that averages 3 dunks a game in his career have another dunk.
3-point game. Blazers have led by as many as 8.
Rudy's got to take this guy off the dribble. There you go.
Presbilla gives a nice pick, and Rudy leaves the jumper short, and Howard grabs the rebound. His 5th. Rudy down, called for a loose ball foul as he dives into Nelson, trying to get that ball back. Second foul on Rudy. And Steve Blake will check back in for Sergio Rodriguez.
Yeah, they're giving Sergio minutes when they can. And that's Rudy right now is getting extra minutes because Roy will go to the point. So rather than having a point guard in there, they have the two guards. And Blakey, of course, will check Nelson.
Turkoglu up top. Skips to the corner. Bogans. Nice pass to Howard, and Travis Outlaw a little late down there. Left Brazil in a bad situation, and Joel elected not to foul.
Yeah. They've got to do a better job of stopping the big guy from catching it.
Roy had 10 quick points to start this game, but he's been quiet since. Blake in trouble, finds Roy. He lays it up around Howard and off. Here come the Magic. Turkoglu by himself.
Boy, Turkoglu really running the court well.
There's an 8-0 run by the Magic. Blazer lead is gone. Magic lead by 1. Timeout, Portland.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, you can't. That was a good timeout by Nate. They had to slow this team down, not turn it over anymore.
Out here in the West, winter's just another season for adventure. And we know how to make the most of it. Even braving the elements and slick conditions won't dampen our spirits. What matters most is arriving safely. And safety comes down to simply this: the right traction. From the company that knows it best, Les Schwab Tires. We help make getting there and winter safer.
Come see us now at J. Lee's Gladstone Nissan. Nissan Versa, horsepower and the most interior room. Nissan Sentra, roomy, stylish, and peppy. Nissan Altima with luxury for all. Nissan Maxima, the 4-door sports car. J. Lee's Gladstone Nissan on Southeast McLaughlin's Auto Row.
Something big is happening in Gladstone. J. Lee's Gladstone Honda is the largest Honda showroom west of the Mississippi, and it's right here in Portland. The easiest and lowest cost shopping on any new or certified Honda at J. Lee's Gladstone Honda. See for yourself. J. Lee's Gladstone Honda on Southeast McLaughlin's Auto Row.
Bi-Mart has what you need to get ready for a safe and healthy winter. Update your wiper blades with Trico Neoform Beam Wiper Blades. Right now they're 20% off, and you can save $20 on the purchase of 2 with a special mail-in rebate. Stay healthy this winter with a flu shot given by a trained Bi-Mart pharmacist. Just check your neighborhood Bi-Mart for more details. Stock up on a wide variety of cold and cough remedies and immune system boosters, all at everyday low prices that really make a difference. Sale prices end November 12th at Bi-Mart, just right for the Northwest.
Orlando, this little 8-0 run to get right back into things halfway through quarter number 2. It's 41-40 Magic. Well, you want to be entertained in style? Rent an executive suite for a Blazer game, concert, or family show at the Rose Garden. 797-9600 is the number to call for more information. Dwight Howard He had 31 points, 16 rebounds in his last game. Tonight, so far, 17 points, 5 rebounds, 5 of 6 shooting, 7 of 8 at the free throw line.
Well, I'm looking at Dwight Howard and Turkoglu that's only missed 1 shot tonight. Dwight Howard, you've got to close in on him. When you do, it leaves Turkoglu open outside. Turk is 6 for 6 and 16 points. And a lot of that can be credited to that guy right there, Dwight Howard, because everybody's double teaming him now.
As we throw it down to Rebecca Harlow.
Guys, Nate is liking the pick and roll. He's been using it all night long, but he's looking for more efficiency there. He said to the guys, set aggressive picks and get out quickly. He knows that the bigs are particularly agile, so he wants to limit the time that they have to reset defensively and adjust to the Blazers' offense.
Well, Roy needs to get more aggressive. He was early, certainly. Tough move around Howard. Rebound, follow Aldridge. And Brandon Roy simply getting by Bogans that easily is causing Howard to have to pay attention to him, and that backside's open.
And Howard's a shot blocker. He's going to go for it every time, and it did. It left Travis Outlaw open earlier. Now it's leaving LaMarcus Aldridge, who has become very aggressive. In the first quarter of the first half of the last ball game, he wasn't aggressive at all, and I think him and Roy had a heart-to-heart talk at halftime of that ball game. LaMarcus Aldridge came out and was 7 for 8 in the second half of the last Blazer home win.
As Howard at the free throw line rattles the first one down, and Orlando's certainly getting to the line so far tonight. 12 for 14, Portland 6 for 6. The thing that Orlando has not done well tonight is shoot the three-pointers. They have the capability to, but guys like Rashard Lewis have been off the mark, and they're just around 32% as a team on the season. Blazers, meanwhile, 6th best in the NBA from behind the three-point line. Tonight's not going to hurt that average. Portland 4 for 5 so far.
But now the Magic, they're moving their defense out a little bit, and the big guy, Dwight's inside.
Blake short on that shot. Loose ball foul going to be called on Michael Petrus. And that is the 3rd foul on Petrus. He picked up his first true trying to defend Roy and had no success at that.
Well, that's the reason they left Bogans in the ball game to check Brandon Roy. Petrus has to go out again.
So Petrus down, and Courtney Lee, the rookie out of Western Kentucky, checks in.
Boy, and I'll tell you, Matt Boland just took some real verbal abuse from Petrus.
Blake wide open for the 3, and boy, Blake is shooting it much better tonight. He drops that down, and 9 points for Blake here in the first half. Blazers 5 for 6 from behind the three-point line.
And Blakey, throughout his career, has been a very, very reliable three-point shooter.
Jameer Nelson, the high-arcing two-pointer, is good.
Well, that's the way Jameer Nelson shot when his team went 27-0, St. Joe. And they were very strong in the NCAA tournament that year.
Aldridge working against Turkoglu. Here's Blake again. Look at a 3 in the corner. That is perfect. Blazers swinging that ball from right to left.
The Blazers haven't been penetrating. I don't know why the Magic are. There's 4 guys in the 3-second lane. They're not going to give up any layups. I think they're afraid of Brandon Roy penetration.
And doesn't that three-pointer open things up?
Yeah, that was
Turkoglu
palming the ball.
Takes the hit by Aldridge, doesn't hit the shot. Nate McMillan in front of us wanting a carry call, as you said.
Oh, he carried it, went from one direction to the other.
Blake with 12 now. He leads Portland in scoring in this first half. Look at the pass to Roy. Missed the shot. Brandon ends up on the floor, and here comes Lee. As Nate McMillan all over Michael Smith. Nelson for 3. Short. Howard the offensive board. Ball knocked away by Blake and chased down by Turkoglu. Inside 4 minutes first half. Wild exchange.
And Turkoglu pushed off Blake to get that ball.
Brisbilla well away from the hoop. Blake gets a piece of it, and again the Blazers get it back. Roy step through. Good on the break.
Well, that time Rudy was wide open, but Brandon knew that he could take this twosome down low, Jameer Nelson and Bogans, and he did.
Boy, Orlando has held its last 3 opponents to 93 points, 88, and 81, so their defense has been getting better. Not so far tonight. Blazers have hit the 50 mark with still 3:23 left in the first half.
You saw it on television. Not one, but two fans winning brand new Toyota Tundras. Now here's your chance to win a brand new Toyota. Your local Toyota dealers and the Trailblazers are giving you a chance to make a half-court shot and drive away in a brand new Toyota. To put a whole new spin on things, we'll have each lucky contestant spin a wheel to see which great Toyota vehicle they're shooting for. As many as 6 fans could drive away with a brand new Toyota. Enter at Trailblazers.com for your chance to spin and win a new Toyota.
Right now at Landmark Ford, we're holding our half-yearly truck sale. And when you combine our discounts with what are in some cases record factory rebates, you'll be amazed at the savings. Full-size F-150s for less than $10,000. Ranger Super Cabs under $13,000. Even F-350 Crew Cab Diesel 4x4s, $15,000 below MSRP. The half-yearly truck sale only at Landmark Ford and Tigard. We're just off I-5 at the Haines Street exit. Get more, spend less.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Wheeler.
I'm Mike Barrett.
Hi, I'm Mike Rice.
This pass, Aldridge, the baseline cutter is Webster. We're used to hearing Trailblazers courtside on the radio.
Now we're moving to TV.
Crosses over through the middle, switches to his left.
Well, it's our weekly 2-hour look at the Trailblazers and the NBA. It's a magazine-style show, very free-flowing.
Fakes the 3, shot clock at 3.
Catch Trailblazers courtside on a special night, Tuesday at 6 p.m. on Comcast Sportsnet.
Tony Luffman and Michael Holden inside the home court studio. We'll be with you at the half. Right now, the Blazers leading by 5, Coach.
Up 5 and points off the bench are the key. And when you look at what Sergio Rodriguez has done, using the dribble, I like it when he's aggressive in the front court, Tony, attacking, getting 2 of those all-important points in the paint. Here he back cuts the defense. You want to help on the post. Sergio being aggressive, making you pay. Points in the paint, key for the Blazers.
4 points and 2 assists for Sergio. Impressive. Let's head back out to Amway to Mike, and Rebecca.
All right, thank you, Tony Luffman. More coming up at halftime from Tony and Michael. Blazers 6 for 7 from behind the three-point line. Magic 2 for 10. You look, though, at the total field goal attempts in the game. Portland 37 and Orlando 29. That's something that we've been seeing develop into a pattern for this Blazer team that was so upside down the other way last season.
Yeah, long as the 37 is not top heavy with outside shots. And they're not. The Blazers are cutting in. They're getting some action. As you heard Michael Holton just mention, points in the paint 20 to 16. The Blazers can live with that.
3 in the key, Howard? No. Foul, Prisbilla. The Blazer bench going crazy, wanting 3 in the key as Howard went in there and established. And Joel Prisbilla called for his 3rd. And Prisbilla and Bob Delaney have never really seen eye to eye, it seems.
They have a history. I won't go any further than that. But those two have a history. And Joel Prisbilla, every time Delaney's on the game, doesn't play a lot of the game. I will just leave it at that.
He's got 3 fouls right now, and he's going to have to come out.
And this is key because they're doing the job on Howard that's #1 in the NBA with 100 points in the paint so far. LeBron James is #2, and it's not even close. So, you know, now there's kind of a red flag goes up because Travis Outlaw goes in. And LaMarcus Aldridge that has 2 fouls also. So this is a key part of this game. LaMarcus picks up his 3rd, and Joel has 3. Boy, that doesn't spell okay for the second half.
Prisbilla has played only 9 minutes in this first half. I think it was last year in this building, perhaps. I'm getting the facts wrong. Oh, I think it was in New Orleans, actually, when Bob Delaney and Joel Prisbilla. And Joel was slapped with a rare technical by Delaney, who at the time it looked like those two had gotten into it. Maybe there was some bad blood that is carried over. Who knows? Here's Roy out top. Bogan's on him. Aldridge gives the pick. Shot clock already down to 6. LaMarcus from deep, it rattles out. Courtney Lee, the rebound. We've hit the 3-minute mark, first half. Blazers still holding on to a 4-point lead. They've led throughout. Bogan's inside. Aldridge blocks it, but there is Howard, and that is the Prisbilla effect, not having him on the floor.
Yeah, and LaMarcus did a great job in stopping Bogan's, but the rest of the Blazers didn't converge and help out.
Roy's got a much smaller Jameer Nelson. That's going to be a goaltend on Dwight Howard. So give Roy 2 points. He's got 14 here in the first half. Howard didn't like it, but it looked like he pinned that ball.
Yeah, and
Dwight had already gotten onto the glass.
Dwight Howard, his first 2 years in the NBA, led the league in goaltend calls. but now he does a much better job. And the referees, because he is a great shot blocker, give him a little break now and then.
You can take the ball to the glass on a block, but you can't get it if it already hits the glass. That looked pretty close to being simultaneous. Nelson, the shot, rebound Aldridge, and a foul on Howard, trying to get it back. Just his second, though. He's got 20 first-half points and 7 rebounds as well. But the Blazers maintain their lead, and Aldridge will inbound in the backcourt. Anthony Johnson, Hedo Turkoglu. Check back in for Orlando as the foul went on Jameer Nelson, not Howard. That's 2 on Nelson.
This is the guy I fear coming into the game, Turkoglu, first Turkish player into the NBA ever, and he's a guy that can really do the job now. I'd love to have him.
Blake creates a foul on Anthony Johnson, who just came into the ball game. That's going to be just the 3rd team foul on Orlando, as Blazers in the penalty have been in the penalty. The personal foul totals right now in this game, 15-5, Portland. So Portland's been whistled for 15 fouls, and a lot of that trying to defend Dwight Howard, of course. That's not unexpected. Roy turns the corner, off balance, got the bucket, and he's fouled. 3-point opportunity, and the foul going to be on Bogans. They tried Petrus on Roy, it didn't work. Now Bogans being taken.
Well, it's a different philosophy. Instead of picking and rolling and bringing Dwight Howard, they're going to clear out one side, let Roy go at him, and if Dwight Howard comes over, then you find LaMarcus Aldridge in the corner. He can also pass to Travis Outlaw that's on the same side. So the picking and rolling wasn't working real well, so they can go back to that. Now, very smartly, Nate, with 2 minutes to go in the half, takes LaMarcus Aldridge out so he doesn't pick up his 3rd foul. Channing Frye has to do the job, and I think they'll go a little zone defense here.
17 first-half points for Brandon Roy, easily the best first half of this season for him. And boy, has he seen some tough defenders in the first couple of weeks of the NBA season. Turkoglu, Johnson, skip pass, Bogans for 3. And finally, they get one down. Orlando, a decent 3-point shooting team, 3 for 11 in the half. Portland, meanwhile, 6 for 7.
Well, they stayed in the man-to-man, and they did check the pick and roll. They had 3 guys on Dwight Howard, left Bogans wide open.
Blazers clear a side for Roy. He wants to take Bogans again. Step back, foul line, left it just short. Rebound, Howard, and Turkoglu fight over it. Outlaw stays back to battle, but finally Howard picks up his 8th. Rashard Lewis, tough shot, missed it. Turkoglu got a hand on it, and Portland back the other way. Blake creates a little numbers situation. Rudy was going to shoot that 3. As we approach the 1-minute mark first half, Tony Luffman, Michael Holton, they'll break it all down at halftime from our Rose Garden studios. Outlaw, they back way off on Travis. Instead of taking the shot, he challenges Howard. Wild shot, and Howard grabs the board.
All you do is dribble and then back out. Back out. The big guy won't come back out with you. Travis would have had an easy. You can't challenge with a jump shot inside on him.
Turkoglu down the right side. His scoop shot off. Howard offensive board, and he's fouled. And Frye and Howard, everything's all right. Turkoglu gets involved, and he shouldn't have gotten involved. Turkoglu now is going to kick it a double technical. Turkoglu and Frye. That didn't involve Turkoglu. He had no business getting involved in it.
And why does Turkoglu, who's a lightweight, have to defend Dwight Howard, that's the heavyweight champ? See, that doesn't make any sense at all. As Stan Van Gundy's going to tell him, Dwight Howard doesn't need your help. And Stan Van Gundy's upset. Just what you said, MB. Why would Turkoglu?
Everything was all cooled down. They say, okay, everything's good. Now look at Turkoglu shove Roy in the back.
Yeah.
And Frye saying, don't be shoving my guy. And that started this whole secondary fracas. So it's all Turkoglu, that whole second part of that.
Yeah. And, you know, Brandon Roy is the king. He can't have other teams pushing him around.
And it's not like Roy gets involved in such things. He's there as a peacemaker and gets a shove in the back from Turkoglu.
Yeah, he's Gretzky.
And Turkoglu arguing the fact out top with Michael Smith that he would get a technical foul on the play.
Now, was it a double technical?
Yes, so it offsets. Howard will shoot the free throws.
Man. Now, Howard, he's got to go back to his, his regular foul shooting right here.
49% coming into this game. That's a little more like what we expected. He's now 8 for 11 here in the first half.
That's justice, liar's justice, or whatever they say.
He's already got ball don't lie. I think you're looking
ball
for.
Don't lie. Yeah.
He's already got a double-double, which is his 6th of the season. He had 69 last season, #1 in the NBA. As the Blazers will be in a 2-for-1, but only for a few seconds when they get the ball back. This before the game tonight. Take a look at the Orlando fan. Look at that. You've got fans all over the country. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
And then you had to go up in the stands to make sure this kind of thing
that's right.
catches on.
I told them, can you print one and take it to Miami?
Maybe they will. In fact, they did go to the Miami game last year, I think, that same group. And we'll see if they come to Miami on Wednesday night when the Blazers continue the road trip against the Heat. And of course, we're on to New Orleans and Minnesota before coming home.
We're keeping our fingers crossed that the big guy has a practice tomorrow and then surprises us all by partaking in the game Wednesday.
This would have been a fun one to see him play in, simply because it would have been two of the potentially the best young men. Certainly Howard already is, but it would have been a heavyweight battle. There's Greg.
Now, does Rudy have 2 fouls? Oh, he does. Rudy Fernandez out of the ballgame. He has 2. I think Greg is feeling it now in this, when...
By the way, Howard with a season-high free throw attempts for the first half. His previous high 7. That was his 12th. Roy over Turkoglu. Short. Rebound Howard. Okay, that was the 2-for-1, so Roy certainly took it.
Wasn't a great 2-for-1. It only left like 2.8 seconds or something like that to get his shot off coming down.
Blazers have already used their 20 in this half as well. Orlando still has theirs. Shot clock at 10. Turkoglu against Roy.
They got to switch this.
Turkoglu throws it up short. Howard, offensive rebound, and the putback.
See, that's when you have to have all 5 Blazers in the hoop.
Here's Blake from half court, short. And we go to the half. Blazers led just about throughout that first half by as many as 8 at one point. But the magic closing. Dwight Howard, 23 points, 10 rebounds, 12 rebounds in that first half. And Hedo Turkoglu also there as well. As Blazers not taking any static on this road trip. Brandon Roy making sure of that. Tony and Michael coming up next. Stay tuned. Just 6 points in that first half, but before we get to that, let's revisit your Northwest Ford Store's keys to the game.
Well, the Blazers have done this. They've defended the jump shooters, 3 for 11, 27%. Free throw battle. Oop. Blazers aren't winning that. And shoot over 45%. The reason the Blazers are winning right now, they're shooting 48%. If it stays at 48, Blazers will win this game. But if it goes down to about 44, 43, Orlando will come out ahead.
Rebecca Harlow normally has conversations with the Blazer coaches before the second half. Did you this time?
I absolutely did, and the conversation sounded kind of similar. Ricey, you were mentioning that there really hasn't been an answer for Roy, and the coaches are expecting that they're going to start doubling down on him, so they're going to put the ball in LaMarcus's hands. Go back to Steve and also Travis. You guys, you were asking whether or not the shooting 75% from the three-point land was going to be fool's gold. Well, the team thinks that they can keep hitting those shots, especially if they have to start doubling Roy. Defensively, they've got to start making some shots. Assistant coach Monty Williams said that they are giving up everything. You got to defend the three, defend in the paint. They're not doing a particularly great job in either one of those categories.
Well, and the Trailblazers continue to lead it, but again, did not shoot well in the second quarter, just 8 for 23. But that first quarter, they were so hot and built an 8-point lead. But Orlando behind Howard and his 23 points and 12 rebounds, able to bring the Magic back to within 1, and that's how we start the second half. And Prisbilla has been in foul trouble this whole night, and now he's got Howard again. They're trying to get him out of the game. They realize how vital it is that Joel be in there for Portland, as that ball rims out and bounces on the floor before Aldridge finally picks it up. Now, LaMarcus Aldridge has not been a big part of things for Portland. Just 6 shots and 6 points. Are they going to go to him early?
Yeah, they definitely will, because he's got Rashard Lewis checking him. But look at Dwight Howard.
Prisbilla to Batum to Roy for 3. It's off, and the rebound taken by Turkoglu, and that just rimmed off for Brandon Roy, who already has, as we mentioned, 17 in the game. Turkoglu on the move. That's something you never saw from him early in his career, but he has developed a nice little game off the dribble.
And Batum better start getting a little more physical on the defensive end against him.
Blake, stop and go move on Nelson, drops to Prisbilla, who dunks with 2 hands. Beautiful setup by Steve Blake.
Yeah, Blakey realizes that's the leading shot blocker in the NBA. So he's going to go for the block, and you can dump it off. Blazers very smartly are trying to go inside early so they can get some of those outside shots going. They've gone into LaMarcus and Joel. Oh, I'll tell you, they just...
Foul on Joel Prisbilla. He cannot believe it. He picks up his 4th foul on that. And that right in front of the Blazer bench. And look at Joel. He just picked up a technical. Matt Bullen tees him up.
And a technical foul has been called on number 10, Joel Prisbilla.
And Joel has had enough in this ballgame. He has played not even 10 minutes. Not even 10 minutes, and he's got 4 fouls, and several of the fouls have been of that variety, well away from the hoop. And you don't see Prisbilla even argue calls very often. He picks up a technical going after.
Well, what I can't see is
Matt Bullen.
When Petrus went out of the game in the first half, he said things that, you know, you got to get a double technical on it. And right there, Joel just, you know, was frustrated. And he teed him up, and he didn't tee Petrus up. So it's, man. And you're playing against the most physical center in the NBA, and they're calling that's the 3rd touch foul that Joel has picked up playing him. If you have to play him with hands off, touchy, feely, then this guy will score 100 points in a game.
And Howard ready to attempt his 14th free throw of the game. And his minutes will, his numbers that is, will continue, you would think, to rise now with Portland going small the rest of the game. But the nice thing about that is maybe the Magic have been so determined to get the ball to Howard all the time. Nobody else other than Turkoglu has really stepped it up.
Now they have to make Howard play defense.
Roy to Blake. Up top, Outlaw. Step in 2 is short. The Blazers cannot afford a cold spell, especially at this point of the game. As Nelson gets past Blake and lays it in. Tough drive by Jameer Nelson. He now has 8.
He can do that going right. He's strong, very physical guard. Delonte West and him, when they were guards at St. Joe, that's why they were 27-0 in the NCAA.
Roy, Outlaw, wouldn't take the 3. Drops it to Brandon, who drops it to Aldridge with 2 hands.
That's the passing that you have to do. When you've got Dwight Howard in there, you've got to maneuver around him. And the Blazers did it that time with very crisp passing.
And that's going to be a foul on Batum. And Batum is another guy who's been whistled for some weak fouls in this game. That's number 4 on Batum.
Yeah, they have not let the youngster from France and Joel Prisbilla play any defense today at all.
So Orlando will inbound, and this is one of those periods the Blazers have to fight through. Nothing going their way right now, but still down only 2.
Yeah, they can't get like me, very upset emotionally.
Oh, that's all right, though. That's who you are. Don't change. Nelson off with the jumper. Rebound tipped by Outlaw to Batum. We like you the way you are.
Thank you. And the Blazers have to continue now to... There's the double team on LaMarcus, and he finds the open man.
Nate McMillan calling a defensive 3-second technical. That's on Howard. And look at Stan Van Gundy. He's on the floor saying, wait a second, Nate McMillan called that. You didn't. You could probably hear Nate, the first part of that possession, shouting 3 seconds, 3 seconds. And finally the call made. Now look at all 3 Orlando players all around Michael Smith, and he's trying to explain to them why
he can't. There's no way.
Call was made.
Dwight Howard came over to double team LaMarcus, and then he sprinted over to get his man. And while he was
what are you
sprinting
suggesting?
up, it was a makeup. I mean,
it was just that's what I was saying. Let's get down to brass tacks.
Yeah,
Stop.
it was just that, you know, they called some bad ones on the Blazers, and they said, let's call a bad one on them.
Roy lays it in, and he's fouled right down the middle as the Orlando defense opened up. Crowd didn't like the fact that it was continuation, but Brandon had picked the ball up and was continuing in the same offensive move, so he gets the bucket. There's the bump and the hold by Turkoglu. Even got Brandon on the head. And there is the bucket. And Roy, a chance to get his 20th point of the ball game early here in the third quarter.
If the Blazers are to hang in here, it has to be Brandon Roy. He's the guy that can get his own shot against this Magic defense that's not double teaming. They're doing a good job of helping each other, especially Dwight Howard in the middle. But Brandon Roy is the guy that can open it up.
Batum's got to be careful. He's got 4 fouls, although he might as well use them. Turkoglu from the outside. Roy, a high tip to Blake. Boy, he was up there with Dwight Howard.
Well, you have to have the guards rebound when you have Dwight Howard. Ooh, look at this matchup.
Here's Roy against Howard. Between the legs. Step back jumper, round and out. Batum tries to keep it alive, and the rebound claimed by Lewis. Orlando didn't even try to switch back on that. Lewis for 3 in transition, off the mark again. Outlaw the rebound.
Rashard Lewis coming down that quick. He used to be able to do that, but this year he has not been making that three-pointer.
He's just 1 for 7 in the ball game. 0 for 4 from behind the three-point line. Outlaw working against Turkoglu. LaMarcus Aldridge, that one helped and that one long. And Jameer Nelson the rebound. They're back 3-on-3. Nelson waits for help. Drop to Howard. Nice pass by Michael Petrus. And Orlando back in front by 1.
Sure is. When you have Gold in the 3-second lane, you got to feed that Gold a little bit. He really, Petrus could have shot that ball, but why shoot it when you got a guy that leads everybody in dunks?
Aldridge, an outside shot has not been on for him so far tonight. This one around and in the hard way. And Aldridge now in double figures with 10. He also has 7 rebounds. Nelson, offensive foul. We go the other way. Blake was playing that tough defense. And Jameer Nelson led with that left arm, and Michael Smith all over it. We go the other way on the Orlando turnover.
Nelson likes to do that after a make, to rush it down court and penetrate and then look for Dwight Howard, who most big people can't believe he can run that quick down the court.
Travis zip pass to Aldridge. He knew Howard was lingering in the area, so he kicked it back out. Now they go back to Aldridge left side against Howard. LaMarcus step back jumper hit while he was in the air, and he goes down hard, and it'll be out of bounds to Portland with 3 to shoot.
Nicholas Batum really came in, as he does often, and hits the offensive board. Him and Travis have to do a lot of that, I think, and hit it.
Shot clock at 3. Roy to inbound. Blazers not sure. Now they go to Aldridge. He's got the jumper over Howard, and he hits. So give Batum credit for keeping that possession alive, which turns into 2 points.
Yeah, now they really have to sag back off of Rashard Lewis, who hasn't been scoring, and Nelson, and help out. Don't let Dwight Howard get hot, or this guy Turkoglu.
Batum's got 4 fouls. They leave him in there to guard Turkoglu. Now they get the switch. Batum is inside on Howard. Skip past Petrus. Shot clock at 5. Nelson back to Petrus for 3.
Petrus is shooting 37%. Not a bad percentage for a guy that you have to check other people.
Blake gets a big pick from Aldridge. Missed the shot. LaMarcus trailing the play. Got the offensive board. Batum for 3. It's long. Rebound again. Aldridge keeps it alive. But here comes Orlando 3-on-1. And that's going to be 5 fouls on Batum, and free throws coming for Petrus, who took off with that ball and got a full head of steam and then ran into his fellow countryman, Nicholas Batum, who has to take a seat as Rudy Fernandez in off the bench.
Yeah, Nicholas got hit right in the chest bone, and he felt it. I asked him today coming down in the elevator, I said, how many Frenchmen in the NBA? He said 10. I said, there's only 9. And he counted out 10, so there are 10.
So you're suggesting our Affleck trivia question was inaccurate the other night?
I guess. I said NBA.com says 9.
Oh.
And then he counted everyone. He knows every person that's in the NBA that's from France. And he did name 10. I wasn't listening real well, so.
But you were in a conversation with him in the elevator.
Yeah.
Yet you weren't listening.
Well, I told him there was 9.
When will you listen if you don't listen to somebody in the elevator by yourself?
I didn't want to hear that he knew there were 10. And Affleck was wrong the other night.
Don't blame it on Affleck.
Yeah.
So the free throw is good by Petrus, his first 2 of the game. Orlando now 20 for 24 at the foul line. That's the reason why they've been able to hang with Portland, and now they have a 2-point lead. Here's Roy and Aldridge, 2-man game. Turkoglu stays on Roy. Aldridge is an open man. It's Rudy for 3, short. He was fouled. He'll shoot 3 free throws. Rudy got hit. And a moment ago, Aldridge, of course, was run into after the release. He didn't get the call, and Rudy got hit right in the stomach, it looks like. And he'll shoot free throws, 3 of them, when we come back. Just past the halfway point, a quarter number 3 here in Orlando.
When you try to check off your holiday list, you could drive all over town, wasting lots of time and gas. Or just go to Fred Meyer. Find everything you need in one stop. This holiday season, the shortest distance between you and a great holiday is a straight line to Fred Meyer. Fred Meyer, what's on your list today?
Saturday at 8 p.m. The Portland Pilots.
Fernandez goes to the basket and 1.
The Washington Huskies. Live in the Giles Center.
Hannibal working on Higgins. Oh!
College basketball.
Ryan is rejected.
Is
to the basket. Yes, indeed.
back.
Shot. Yes, for 3.
Portland versus Washington. Saturday at 8 p.m. on Comcast Sportsnet. Game on.
Hi, can I take your order?
Someday, being on top of your money. Someday, Tahiti. Today, open a Wells Fargo free checking account and get unique tools that make managing your money easy. Seize yours someday at Wells Fargo.
2-point lead for Orlando with 5:59 to go here in the third. Sign up for the Trailblazers new ticket alert service and get first access to newly released tickets throughout the season. It's a great deal. Plus, you'll receive 10% discount at our online Trailblazers fan shop.
Oh.
Sign up today at trailblazers.com. You get me eating this popcorn during timeouts, and then we go back on the air, and I'm not ready.
Well, when it's a close game, I have to have popcorn.
I understand.
And, you know, I get nervous, and you know, I was just looking at Rashard Lewis, what they paid for him, and what in 2003, as you see, that's upcoming games in Miami, New Orleans, Minnesota, and Golden State. But Rashard Lewis had a 50-point game in 2003. He was an all-star in 2005, and right after that, he signed a $118 million contract.
Wow.
Are they getting their money's worth, is the question.
Probably not. Maybe they deserve to be bailed out on this particular.
Well, you know, you can. Allen Iverson got traded, and they, you know, Denver did a nice job of losing a lot of money off their cap but they like this team, and they think this team can compete for a championship. I believe they can. They have enough tools and enough weapons in the East to do that.
Rudy Fernandez fouled shooting the three-pointer moments ago. Will shoot 3 free throws. Rudy has only missed 1 foul shot.
Oh, don't say that, please.
This week. That's not so bad.
No, I would say he'd make all 3, but
now that's pressure.
No, but saying he's only missed.
That had nothing to do with this particular trip to the line. I was just letting people know.
Since he was 6 years old, he's never missed a foul shot.
Oh, look at what you did.
See?
2 of 3 for Rudy, so we're tied at 68.
I knew. You're like a double.
It was just my comment. You kept it going and caused the miss. Take responsibility for yourself. Lewis inside, jump hook over Outlaw. Rashard Lewis hasn't been able to hit from the field, so maybe he'll go inside. That's just his second bucket of the game. 2 for 8 shooting now.
And he shouldn't be able to do that against Travis. It's not like the Blazers have Rudy Fernandez on them. They have Travis.
Aldridge from Roy. Long on that. LaMarcus 6 for 12. As Petrus holding, Fernandez on him. Nelson holds against Blake, tries to take it to him. Air ball, caught his own shot, and then missed the second putback. Nate McMillan going nuts on the Blazers sideline. Down goes Rudy as he threw down Howard. Dwight Howard challenges Boland, comes to his chest, no technical foul. Unbelievable.
That is. He just threw him.
He threw down Rudy and then turned to Boland and cursed in his face. Prisbilla did a quarter as much and got a technical a minute ago. Take a look at it.
And Nate ran down to Bob Delaney and said, "What's going on?"
Well, we go the other way. That's the important news for Blazer fans. Here's Roy.
Dwight Howard can't stand guards around him.
Roy to the hoop, and Bogans knocked it away and out of bounds. 13 to shoot. Blazers will inbound. I think the officials have heard about enough from players in this game. It's been a heated game. A lot of defense, a lot of physical play.
Yeah, it is getting physical. There's no doubt about it.
Blake holding against Nelson. Trying to get the ball to Roy. And Jameer Nelson doing a nice job defensively. Aldridge has to take a long two. And that is off the mark, and Nelson the rebound.
Blazers have to be able to move their offense from one side of the floor to the other. Maybe give a couple of picks to Rudy Fernandez. This team is too physical to just stand and go at him.
They're going back to Lewis against Outlaw. Travis goes down, and Lewis hits the Turner fadeaway jumper. And all of a sudden now Rashard Lewis finding an area he likes.
Yeah, they found very unexpected to going against Travis. I thought they'd go try to pick up some fouls on LaMarcus Aldridge with Dwight Howard, but
Roy baseline hit hard by Howard. He goes down. Free throws coming for Brandon, but he was passing.
Yeah.
So it's going to be out of bounds Portland. That's just 4 team fouls on Orlando.
The more years that Brandon Roy is in the league, when he hears that whistle, he'll just throw it up over his head like it's a shot. Right there was the whistle, and he threw it back outside. And that's what Brandon has to do. And the problem is, every time Brandon drives now, he's triple teamed. And that's very difficult, so he's going to have to find. And that time he did look for the right guy, Steve Blake, who was hot in the first half.
And Brandon picked up his 20th point early in this quarter, and Orlando has done a nice job against him since then to keep him quiet. Because now they're going to go back to Roy against Bogans.
Boy, and Bogans is really playing physical against him.
Here's Rudy. He's played against Turkoglu a lot internationally. Yep. They know each other well. Rudy for 3, short. Rebound, Lewis.
Well, those shots were going in the first half. Not so much now, and the Blazers not catching any offensive rebounds in there without any of their big guys in the game.
Nelson back to Turkoglu. Shot clock at 8, and 3 in the key on Tony Battie. We go the other way. Battie didn't like the call. That's only the 7th turnover on Orlando. The Blazers with 3 turnovers in this game, so it's been well played both sides.
What a bonus that is if Battie can stay healthy. He missed all of last year, very much like Greg missing all of last year for this ball club. He's a real nice presence off the bench.
Roy against Bogans. Lewis in the area. Brandon, foul line. Jumper is off. Blazers ice cold now. They scored 36 points in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Did the Blazers. They've had 32 since then.
Yeah, they're much more physical.
Rudy blocks the shot by Lewis at the foul line, and here's Blake with it.
He's looking for Rudy, but they're going out on him.
Yep. Now Aldridge against Battie. LaMarcus back to Rudy. Thought about the 3. And he's held, hits the shot. They're not going to score it because the foul came before. Tough shot by Rudy, showing some strength there to get that ball around the basket. But that will be penalty time for Orlando. So free throws for Fernandez when we come back. Less than 3 to go here in the 3rd.
After seeing all the high numbers at the pump, consider these: 35, 28, 29, 28, 26. All of these Ford vehicles get up to 26 miles per gallon or better, so you'll be seeing less of the pump and more of the road. Ford Focus gets over 450 miles per tank and now starts at under 14 grand. Only at your Northwest Ford stores.
G2 is the smart choice for athletes because it is low in calories. And my mama like it. So if my mama like it, I like it.
Living the G2 life.
I know for a fact
that as I continue to play golf, just like I play pool, I'm going to get better at it.
Are you the next Tiger?
I'm the next. If I continue to drink that G2, watch out, Tiger.
Living the G2 life.
Blazers down by 4, but Rudy Fernandez a chance here in a moment to cut that lead to 2. Wells Fargo, official financial partner of the Trailblazers, proud to take its customers to the next stage. They take us now to the next game. We have a day off in Miami tomorrow, then Wednesday night, Blazers and the Heat. 4:30 for the pregame show, 5 o'clock tip-off in that one, right back here on Comcast Sportsnet. Blazers would love to pick up their first road win of the season tonight, build a little momentum on this trip, and get it off to a good start with perhaps Greg Oden on Wednesday. Not sure yet.
Well, it has become more physical, but the Blazers have been able to slow up Dwight Howard in this game. That is the key, but Magic defense has really come alive here in the third quarter.
Rebecca Harlow, what do you have?
Guys, Nate is looking to mix things up offensively. In that last time out, he said, you guys are taking one pass and shooting. Don't settle for the ISO. Go to the basket or swing the ball. He pointed out the fact that the guys are cheating towards LaMarcus and Brandon, which is leaving a guy open for a 3 on the other side. So he said, don't be afraid to swing or go towards the middle.
Yeah, that's very good advice that Nate gave them and Rebecca gave us, because the Blazers have been just going one pass and a shot, and you can't. They're just too physical to do that. You have to move them around.
Lewis, Blake comes to help, and he turns it over. So there's one adjustment that happened during the timeout. Roy to Rudy and back to Roy. They'll reset it.
Boy, look how they're getting out on Blake now.
Blake shoots past Johnson, ball knocked away. Portland in the first quarter of this game tonight shot 62%. Since then, they're 13 for 39. So Orlando has tightened the screws a little defensively, but Blazers have missed a lot of open shots.
And I'm sure they'd like more of that. Blakey going to the basket and caving in that defense a little bit. The outside shots just haven't been going in this second half.
Rodriguez in there. Back to Rudy. Turkoglu on him. Shot clock at 4. Nate McMillan tells him we got to go. Channing Frye long 2, short. And the rebound Magic. Blazers just not getting a ball down right now as Channing Frye 0 for 4 after that miss.
And that's not a bad shot for Channing Frye. He's got to be able to knock that down against this physical Orlando defense.
Lewis off again from 3. I think he got to go back inside where he was having success.
Channing Frye really had a nice box out on Batiste. You can box him out. It's tougher against Dwight Howard.
Back to the bread and butter. Spread it for Roy. Short on the jumper as he saw Batiste coming over. And it's out of bounds to Orlando. As Roy, I think he saw Batiste flashing out of the corner of his eye and thought, hey, that's Howard, but it wasn't.
Yeah, Dwight Nelson, Jameer Nelson shoots him that way. He always short arms him. Brandon Roy usually doesn't do that. And you're right, it's the Dwight Howard influence, even when he's not in the game.
Turkoglu, good defense by Roy, and the shot long by Turkoglu and out of bounds to Portland. This has been a terrific ball game. Blazers led by as many as 8. Orlando has only led by as many as 4, and we've been back and forth here this entire quarter.
Yeah, but this is the type of NBA game. Both teams are working hard on the defensive end now to win this game. A lot of times everyone tries to win it with offense. Both of these teams are going at each other right now.
And it was a big offensive game for a while. It's just 18-15 now in the quarter. As Rudy has that just rim off, and here comes Orlando. Bogans, we're inside a minute now for the quarter. Anthony Johnson back to Lewis. Roy cuts him off. Lewis whips it out. Turkoglu wouldn't take the 3. Good recovery by Outlaw, but he fouls Turkoglu. And 2 free throws coming. As Travis Outlaw had a big impact offensively immediately in this game early in the first half, but really hasn't scored since. He's still stuck on 10, and Turkoglu now with 19 points will have a couple of free throws.
Well, they're coming out of the paint. In the first half, they were in the paint protecting against everything down the middle. Now they see the Blazers outside shooting club, so they're moving their perimeter defense out and is making the Blazers penetrate more, drive more.
And the Blazers have gotten away with playing the small. Dwight Howard getting a long rest on Orlando's bench. In fact, I'm kind of surprised it's been as long with the game still as close as it is, but the Blazers have certainly won the strategy battle here in the second half because they have not shot the ball well, and yet they're right here.
Yeah, but they've got the whole fourth quarter to play Dwight, and you can bet he'll play a lot of it.
Sergio still with it. Shot clock at 5. Rodriguez out to Outlaw. Wouldn't take the 3. Now takes a tough 2. Is undercut, and he'll shoot 2. Dangerous move by Anthony Johnson. Not that he was trying to hurt Travis, just out of control and came under him. And that is, as I mentioned the other night, a point of emphasis by NBA officials, coming under players when they're shooting. That's how serious injuries happen.
And we talked about taking the outside shot. And Travis had time to take the outside shot, but he knows nothing has been going in.
Right.
So he took it to the basket and got to the foul line. That's the maturity showing in Travis Outlaw from his early years to now.
And he makes a pair of free throws. The Blazers as a team now for the game, 13 of 15.
Brandon Roy playing a lot of minutes in this game. No one else because of foul trouble. LaMarcus Aldridge and Joel Przybilla, they've been in foul trouble all night.
Here's Turkoglu. Sets up for 3. Short. Rebound tipped and taken by Fry. Blazers a chance to run. Rudy takes an open 3. Short. Rebound Roy, and is through his hands, but a good opportunity to end the third quarter the way they ended the first quarter. And that was with a Rudy Fernandez 3 at the buzzer, but it was just off the mark. And we head to quarter number 4 with the Portland bench outscoring Orlando's 26-5. But the Blazers trailing the ball game by 1. Should be a great fourth. Stick around.
Hey fans, this is Brandon Roy.
And me, LaMarcus Aldridge.
Head number 2 for the Jam. Individual game tickets are on sale now, and they are selling out fast.
Do you have your tickets yet? Some games are already sold out.
Brandon, a three-pointer out front. Hit it! Yes, he did!
You should also sign up for our new Trailblazer Ticket Alert service and get first access to newly released tickets throughout the season.
For 3, yes!
Call 503-797-9600 or visit us at trailblazers.com.
The few, the proud, the Marines.
Digital TV is coming this February. You've got questions. The experts at Standard TV and Appliance have answers. Choosing a plasma, LCD, or DLP TV? What size? What brand? Will you be watching movies or video gaming? And what accessories will you need? Standard can help with a huge selection of top-name brands and a low price guarantee. So you'll be ready for the amazing picture quality of HD TV. Standard TV and Appliance and KGW, your digital experts.
I had the worst day ever.
That's nice.
Mind if I vent for a while?
Mine? I prefer it.
First, I get to work, and the elevator's broken, so I have to right as I'm about to push my Alice totally pulls rank on the
That's venting.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about venting. What are you talking about?
The vented wide mouth can from Coors Light. It lets in air for a smooth, refreshing pour.
So should I start venting without you?
Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Trailblazers 36 points in the first quarter and 36 points combined in the second and third quarters. Well, Joe's and the Trailblazers want to know where in the world you're wearing your Blazers gear. If you happen to be somewhere with some Blazer gear on, take a picture and email it to the 4Fans page on trailblazers.com tonight. That's Alexis Lee in Bali with a 9th-generation medicine man wearing a Blazers Make It Better shirt. So send your picture in. I know, Mike Rice, you have one from your trip to China.
Sure.
You'll get that on the air.
I'm waiting.
And a travel called on Rudy Fernandez as the Blazers did not turn the ball over the entire third quarter. I was just about to say that, and then they turn it over on their first possession here in the fourth. There you see the scoring by quarters. That high-scoring first, and then not so much in the second and third.
Well, remember, the Blazers have played the Lakers, Utah, Phoenix, and Orlando on the road. Those 4 teams have only lost 1 home game the whole year, so it's tough.
Petrus 3, air ball out of bounds as Howard, they collapsed around him. He turned to find the open shooters, and there were several. He picked Petrus, and he threw it up a foot short.
The NBA did not do the Blazers any favors by scheduling the way they did. They thought they would have Greg Oden, and they would highlight him, spotlight him. But the Lakers, Utah, Phoenix, and Orlando.
Outlaw for 3 again out top. Big 3 for Travis. He is 3 for 4 in this game from behind the three-point line. And on the season, Travis now 13 of 19. Unbelievable.
Yes, and they're giving Roy a nice rest right now. Travis making up for that.
Bogan stolen by Fernandez.
Blazers are showing a little spark now. They've got a little gleam in their eye. That second unit in there's doing the job. And LaMarcus Aldridge.
Aldridge, Fry the cutter, wouldn't take the 3. Rudy says, give it to me.
Oh. And they need a timeout. What do you think, MB?
Oh, Stan Van Gundy needs time as Rudy and Travis go back-to-back with 3s. It's a 13-2 run by Portland to answer Orlando's push. Blazers by 5.
Someday, a backyard. Today, talk to a Wells Fargo banker. You'll find low rates and a mortgage that's right for you. Seize your someday. Wells Fargo.
Coming up on Comcast Sportsnet.
Wednesday at 5 p.m. against Dwayne Wade in the Miami Heat. Friday at 5 p.m. against Chris Paul in the New Orleans Hornets. Saturday at 5 p.m. against Al Jefferson and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Catch all the action on Comcast Sportsnet, your home of the Portland Trail Blazers. Game on.
I love steak, man.
Enjoy your steaks, gentlemen.
Is this it? You didn't order?
Valet's getting mine. I'm not a steak guy anymore, you know? Oh, there it is. Triple steak burrito. See, I'm more of a triple steak kind of guy.
Oh.
Taco Bell's new triple steak burrito. Steak, steak, and more grilled marinated steak. There's steak night, then there's triple steak night.
Triple steak guys, that's what we are. In here.
Well, a big response by the young Trailblazers. Rudy Fernandez the 3, and it's given Portland a 5-point lead, but still lots of time left. The Aflac trivia question: who was the first U.S. president to attend an NBA game, and when was it? Do you know, Mike Rice?
How about Eisenhower?
No.
No?
It was in Portland in 1974. That should narrow it down.
Man, I'm a blank.
That's bad. Gerald Ford.
Oh, Gerald Ford.
He watched the Blazers beat Buffalo.
The Wolverine, the Michigan Wolverine.
113-106.
Yeah.
Here's the last 2 threes. Watch Fernandez find Outlaw, who's just been scorching hot from out there. And then look at the Blazers spreading out Orlando.
Yeah, see, inside, then outside. And Orlando did a marvelous job in the third quarter, and they kind of went back to the middle again. Now they'll go to Dwight Howard early and often right now.
Turkoglu, his drive off. Howard's tip off, but he gets it again. And Sergio fouls. Good foul, good strong foul from behind by Rodriguez. It looked bad because Howard was off balance.
Look at Dwight Howard trying to intimidate Sergio. He's trying to intimidate him. He said, you grabbed me around the neck, Sergio said, and then he spoke to him in Spanish, and Dwight said, what did he call me? What did he say?
Foul is on Sergio. And 2 free throws coming for Howard. He's 11 for 14 in this game. He came into tonight under 50% at the line. But
look at Anthony Johnson and Bogans trying to fire up Dwight Howard. They're trying to hurt you, Dwight.
They're going after Sergio.
Yeah, man. Sergio, tell him. But that's what you have to do. This guy shoots 40% under pressure. You got to foul him. Yeah, this is in the 4th quarter. Now go up to him, Sergio, and say, shoot the foul shot, Chip.
Now Johnson talking to Sergio, too. Oh, get him, Serge.
Look at Sergio. All he did was, he was like a fly on an elephant's back. And they're trying to get him. Look at that.
This is a pair. Rodriguez got into his head. 10-17 left.
That's right. There you go.
It looked worse because, of course, Howard was off balance with the ball, and not a bad foul. In fact, a good foul if you're Portland. Here's Outlaw.
I like this for Outlaw.
Setting up against Petrus, who's seen his share of Brandon Roy tonight. Tough shot. Outlaw got the roll.
I like that. Petrus has fouls, so he's not trying to play defense.
Blazers by 7.
And I'll tell you what, all of a sudden the Blazers are playing defense.
Look at the bench points. 34 bench points for Portland tonight. That's what you need in the first game of a long trip. Howard. Fry fouled him, and free throws coming. And
that's not bad.
Saying he was straight up, but he wasn't, so that was a good call.
Sure.
Fry gets the foul and 2 free throws. Now Howard, who's been good all night, will he return to his
this is
normal?
4th quarter. This is not all night. This is 4th quarter, and the game on the line. So now you have to go up to him and remind him. Sergio should say, hey,
So you're suggesting some trash talk?
Oh, absolutely. Get in his head. Sergio say, I'll whack you again. Look at that. That is ugly.
Now he's thinking about it.
Oh, that's
Sergio has crawled into the ear of Howard and is nesting.
Yeah, now the thing is, you don't want to get around him on the defensive end when he's ready to whack somebody.
Tugging on Superman's cape, literally.
It's one thing to put him on the foul line. It's another to drive on him. So stay away from him. Oh, man, I'll tell you what.
And that's a pair missed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is the 4th quarter, big guy.
So Blazers now 8-0 to start the quarter.
Now they've got to keep LaMarcus Aldridge moving to get him out.
Sergio for 3. It's off. Rebound claimed inside by Rashard Lewis.
That would have been a dagger right there. That would have really got the Blazers fired up.
Foul on Travis. And now the Blazers, meanwhile, though, in serious team foul trouble now. That is 3 already in the quarter. So now you run the risk of putting Orlando at the free throw line with every foul for a lot of minutes this quarter. You don't want to do that.
No, and that's not bad if it's Dwight Howard on the line. But if you have to put Rashard Lewis or Turkoglu, that's not good.
Another foul. That's 4 team fouls on Portland in just over 2 minutes.
Boy, they're looking inside now. The refs, the guards from Orlando.
Whoa. Orlando does not have a team foul in the quarter.
See, and the Blazers have to take advantage of Dwight Howard missing foul shots. And they couldn't the last 2 times he missed. Now, that's when you open it up on the road. If someone is missing foul shots or if they're turning the ball over, they're going one-on-one too much, you've got to make them pay. And the Blazers, with the 7-point lead, have to do it right now.
Bob Delaney checking something out at the table, and Orlando will now inbound. He's probably checking the team foul total.
I'm worried about Turkoglu right now, not Dwight Howard.
Anthony Johnson back to Rashard Lewis. He won't take the 3. Now Rudy picks his pocket, and Outlaw saves. We go the other way. What a play by Rudy. And he's done that several times in this ball game. And you talked about the reason why Portland now is among the leaders in steals. As far as teams go, it's a lot of it due to Rudy. Aldridge got to go to work. Fades away. Tough shot. Round and out.
Boy, and they had a lot of poise on that. They cut through. They left Aldridge do his thing with Turkoglu. That ball should have gone in.
Turkoglu gets a pick from Howard, who rolls to the hoop. Turkoglu off balance, missed it. Rebound Aldridge inside. He's got 10 now.
See, they're going one-on-one right now. They're out of their offense. Turkoglu is trying to win the game by himself. Now the Blazers got to punish him with team play.
Rudy off the curl. Didn't want to shoot it and didn't even want to pass it, but Aldridge was there. LaMarcus won't take the long outside shot. Now they reset. Rudy for three. Yes, sir! Out top Fernandez again, and he pumps the fist at the Blazer bench. They've got their largest lead of the night at 10. And Stan Van Gundy wants time. 20-second timeout Orlando. As Rudy Fernandez on fire with Travis Outlaw. It's a 13-0 Blazer run going back to the third. Orlando has yet to score. Look at the jab step, and to not get out and respect that shot on Rudy is not reading the scouting tape.
Well, Bogan's the reason he was yelling at the officials. He was yelling at Matt Boland or Michael Smith. And then he came over after the timeout and yelled right into Michael Smith. So I hope that doesn't influence the calls. Look at
the bench for Portland has been unbelievable tonight.
Yeah, and with the poise. Look at how the ball moved from one side of the court to the other. Earlier, they weren't doing that. Roy and Aldridge were trying to win the game on their own. Now the Blazers are playing as a team, much more so than this Magic team.
And it's a Subway 20-second timeout. I went looking for that Subway that's supposedly by our hotel today. I couldn't find it.
It's gone.
Oh.
Yeah, they took it out, and I had to go to the all-night.
That was supposed to be a great sponsor mention, but now you say they closed the restaurant.
I had to go to that all-night
At least I went looking
pizza
for
place.
Yeah, I ended up there myself. All right, Orlando to inbound. 8 minutes left.
Boy, they're looking right now. They got a mismatch.
They lob to Howard. Oh, and he's stripped by Fry or Aldridge. They were both there. That looked like it was going to be at the very worst. 2 free throws.
Yeah, Channing was going to foul him, and the guards got in there and dug. Remember, we said he averaged 4 turnovers a game last year.
Sergio still with it.
Oh, I like this right here.
Travis against Nelson. Zip pass, Fry, got cutters, it's Aldridge, under the hoop, spins it up, no, he missed it. And Fry, a loose ball foul over the back of Howard. That's free throws now for Howard, and Orlando will be shooting on every Portland foul the rest of the ball game.
Well, it's layups like that, and LaMarcus would love to have that back.
5 fouls on Fry. And Chris Bill has played only 10 minutes in this game. He's on the bench with 4. Portland will go small, stay small. And Brandon Roy will check in, most likely for Sergio. That's what we've seen lately.
Yeah, and we talked about the bench, and we didn't mention Channing Frye. Channing Frye has done a marvelous job passing the basketball, playing defense.
And you wouldn't know it by his numbers. I mean, he's 0 for 4 in the ball game. Hasn't been to the foul line, but it's all those little things.
Oh, absolutely. You know, he was depending. Oh, he puts one in. He was depending on his outside shot. Then he started to say, I can help this Blazer team in other ways.
Boy, Portland going small now. Brandon did not replace Sergio. He replaced Fry.
Well, they just now.
So Brandon going to play the 3 now with Outlaw at the 4. We have not seen this lineup much.
Yeah, long as Brandon now doesn't try to take over and not go one-on-one all the time. He has to include all his teammates because they can move this Orlando team around much bigger.
So that's 20 free throw attempts for Dwight Howard in this game. Sergio has it knocked away. Turnover, Portland, only the 4th of the game. Howard Nelson runs down Rudy. We go the other way.
Now that was real bad, aggressive play by Jameer Nelson.
Take a look at Rudy, sets up shop clearly outside the restricted area and clearly run down.
Rudy Fernandez is a thinking man's. If you love to see a guy think the game of basketball in the NBA, it's Rudy. He knew that Sergio was going to be challenged there.
Roy back to Aldridge. Thought about taking the long shot, instead gave it up to Sergio. Rodriguez, long 2, looks short is. And it'll be tracked down by Jameer Nelson. Blazers coming up empty on some of these trips, some of these chances to expand a lead.
And not even good shots. They've got to get better ones than that.
Bogans nearly had that ball bounce through his hands. Howard trying to set it up. Outlaw fighting him. Turkoglu takes a 3 over Roy. It's long. Rebound. Sergio and Bogans come together. Crowd wanted a foul. Aldridge down the lane, lays it in with the right hand.
Boy, and that time they were, Travis Outlaw was battling Dwight Howard underneath like I've never seen Travis battle somebody.
Back to a 10-point lead. Nelson steal, Fernandez. That's 8 steals for Portland to 1 for Orlando.
Remember, the Blazers last year, worst steal team in the NBA. Now they're 5th best.
Roy shoots past Lewis. Nearly, a foul going to be called. Down low on Jameer Nelson. Didn't hear the whistle. As Blake in for Sergio. Great run for Sergio Rodriguez as he will sit down.
It sure was. On both ends. You had nothing to complain about Sergio's defense that time. He was digging down low. They're making it tough on Dwight. 6 minutes to go in this game with the Blazers 10 up.
Orlando still just 1 team foul. That was it in the quarter. Brandon to the rim, scores around Howard, who was there but was helpless.
You know, Dwight Howard had a long rest in that 3rd quarter, but he looks a little winded right now.
Bogans for a quick 3. Short. Rebound inside. Outlaw digs it out. Big rebound, Travis.
If the Blazers went to a zone defense, Orlando didn't know it. They came down and just, after the first pass, Bogans just threw it up.
Roy throws it away out top. He tried to get the foul. Nelson, Turkoglu, Aldridge with him. Turkoglu scores off the glass. Rudy saying it was a travel, but it didn't look to be, as Turkoglu now with 22, Howard 29. Those are the only Orlando players in double figures. Mike Rice, Portland has been in position with leads at Phoenix and double-digit leads at Utah, where they have had chances to put teams away.
Yeah, they got a little passive in those games. They can't do that. They've got to continue going hard.
Aldridge, a lot of time to set up, and he buries it. Great find and great setup by Fernandez.
Yeah, see, and they're not having Roy dominate the ball. Fernandez is moving to the point. Roy to the 2. Very smart by the Blazers. Watch Turkoglu wide open.
Blazers confused.
They don't know if they're in a zone or man-to-man.
Nobody on Nelson. Doesn't make Portland pay. They dodge a cannonball as the Blazers were overloaded on the near side.
Boy, and Nate was screaming his lungs out. And I think it confused Orlando more than the Blazers.
Right. They thought, what are we to be excited about? Roy inside goes down. He's hit hard. He's upset. But here come the Magic with numbers.
No, Roy cannot try to force it too much.
Bogans on the move. Lays it up and in. That's just the 2nd made field goal of the quarter for Orlando. As we have a timeout on the floor, 4:17 left in this ball game. Blazers have been in this situation before. Can they put Orlando away?
As easy as it is for Greg Oden to bounce this ball is the ease of menu value pricing, because you're provided the invoice document with our great menu price.
It's a no-hassle process where you can make a decision in just minutes.
Visit our locations in Milwaukee and Wilsonville, as well as online at drivehomehappy.com.
Town & Country dealerships. They'll make you feel like you're number 1.
Menu value pricing only at Town & Country dealerships. See us at drivehomehappy.com.
The next available representative will be with you in 4 hours, 10 minutes.
Get your identity stolen, you'll spend day after day on the phone getting it back with calls to the bank, credit cards, the Social Security office, and on it goes.
Please continue to hold.
Fortunately, there's Farmers Identity Shield. For just $65 or less per year, your credit is monitored.
Thank you for holding.
Plus, a personal fraud advocate helps make all those calls. So make only one now to a Farmers agent. 1-800-FARMERS.
Well, it's 17-6. Blazers here in the quarter as we're back in Central Florida. A beautiful night outside, and we're kicking off this road trip. Blazers would love to do it and get a victory while they're doing it. As Rudy Fernandez tonight, 16 points, 3 steals, 3 assists, and 4 3-pointers.
Yeah, and I think Rudy's offense and the Blazer defense against Dwight Howard in this fourth quarter, he has 1 point. So the Blazers are sagging back, but getting out to the outside shooters also. So they're mixing it up on offense. Roy, that last time, went 1 against 4. He thought he was fouled, but they're not going to give you that. You've got to move that ball around. Now they're giving Rudy a little rest right now.
And they bring Channing Frye back in, and Rudy will sit down. We'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah, they don't want to be beat on second chance points. Remember, Orlando's number 2 in the NBA in second chance points, so the Blazers go with a bigger lineup. They're going with stats.
Roy against Bogans. Brandon has not been getting the calls that he wants while driving. Now he's got it out top. Shot clock down to 5. Roy, step back, foul line. Tough shot.
And that was tough. They've got to look for Travis now because they're leaving Travis to go help out on LaMarcus and Roy. That could be a good secondary position.
Turkoglu for 3, got it.
And Travis has to play Turkoglu.
There's too much time left to start trying to eat the shot clock. We'll see what Portland does if they continue to be aggressive offensively.
Yeah, and right now they're going to look for Aldridge.
Roy hit hard inside, gets the bucket anyway. He's got 26.
Well, that time they didn't collapse on Roy, and he made him pay.
Blazers got to watch the threes. Nelson thought about it. To the middle, nowhere to go. Turkoglu, hesitation move. Up and under, no, but he'll shoot free throws.
Now it's just survival. Both teams are going at each other. No outside shots. We're going to go and get to that foul line. Look at Roy there. That's strength.
Oh, you're not kidding.
Roy wouldn't have been able to do that.
And it wasn't
previously.
A foul, as you saw in the replay. And Brandon didn't want one. It was just a hard, good swipe by Bogans that got all ball. Turkoglu 4 for 6 at the line, making 5 for 7 now.
Yeah, very good foul shooter in the fourth quarter. A player that is kind of one of those forgotten guys that, boy, he brings it. Especially late in the game. They will go to him even more than Dwight Howard because of the way Dwight Howard shoots foul shots.
And Turkoglu could be one of those guys shopping for a new team after the season. We'll see.
Yeah.
Turkoglu and Howard have combined for 56 of Orlando's 84 points.
Probably another minute and a half we'll see Rudy come back in this ball game.
Roy working against Turkoglu. Got him in the air, got bumped hard, nearly got the bucket. He will shoot free throws, and what the master that is Brandon Roy with the head fakes. It isn't quick, it's deliberate, but it always seems to work. And he'll shoot 2 when we come back. We're inside 3 minutes to play.
Brandon, a three-pointer out front. Hit it! Yes, he did!
The long road trip continues as the Trailblazers head south to take on Miami. Last season, the Heat struggled and were swept by Portland, but with a new head coach and a revitalized Dwayne Wade, there's definitely going to be some tough competition for Brandon Roy and the Blazers. Trailblazers, the Heat, Wednesday at 4:30 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Buck and Simon in new games at Spirit Mountain.
Hello, hello, Simon.
Buck again.
Want to play a game, Simon?
Hide and seek. You hide.
Not that kind of game. This kind of game. I'm working on my skills for Spirit Mountain. They have the most slots, more tables, poker tournaments, and bingo's back. Oh!
Only bipeds can play Spirit Mountain. You have 2 legs too many.
But I'm so lucky.
You're confusing lucky with nuts.
Oregon's biggest casino, the most games in all your favorite denominations.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Wheeler.
I'm Mike Barrett.
Hi, I'm Mike Rice.
Pass, Aldridge, the baseline cutter is Webster. We're used to hearing Trailblazers courtside on the radio.
Now we're moving to TV.
Crosses over through the middle, switches to his left. Well, it's our weekly 2-hour look at the Trailblazers and the NBA. It's a magazine-style show, very free-flowing.
Fakes the 3, shot clock at 3.
Catch Trailblazers courtside on a special night, Tuesday at 6 p.m. on Comcast Sportsnet.
Tony Luffman and Michael Holden inside the home court studio. We'll be with you after the game.
Coach, the Blazers closing in on what could be an impressive win.
And they're doing it with points in the paint, and they're getting them from dribble penetration. Sergio, Rudy, but it's Brandon Roy. Weight room, hand dexterity, acrobatics, and a finish. Points in the paint, Tony.
Getting it done. Let's head back out to Amway Arena to Mike, and Rebecca.
All right, thanks, fellas. As Brandon Roy to the free throw line, if he makes a pair, he'll have a new season high. He's got 26 right now. You talk about what Roy has been through in the first couple of weeks of the season as far as the defense he's faced in these games. We've already mentioned Kobe, Raja Bell, Bruce Bowen, Ron Artest. I mean, he's had his hands full, and he's always the focal point of the opponent's entire defensive game plan. Well, that's the case tonight.
That's why Bogans has played in this ball game 30 minutes because he's on Roy. Now Roy has to finish it out on the foul line. You can't miss fouls and give this team hope.
Because Orlando, as you said earlier, has the ability to be a good three-point shooting team. They haven't been so far, but they've got life.
And the big guy, Dwight Howard, remember, offensive rebounds, he's #1 in the NBA, so you've got to fight him off the board.
Turkoglu, step back, wouldn't take the three, runs down Outlaw, and the foul's going to be on Travis. Wasn't quite set. Free throws coming for Turkoglu, but again, this is clock stop, not much time off the shot clock, and 2 free throws. Not what you want for Portland. 5 fouls on Outlaw. If you're going to play a conservative style at one end, don't let Orlando play the other style and get you, at least get themselves to the free throw line with no time off the clock.
Yeah, and Travis is very important in this game. He's big enough to check Rashard Lewis and Turkoglu, so and he can make a shot if your offense gets stalled. Travis Outlaw can go one-on-one, so him playing with 5 fouls, it's very important to have him in the ballgame right now. You don't want to put a youngster in like Nicholas Batum in this ballgame at this point.
1 of 2, and Outlaw grabs the rebound.
Like right there, he was the inside. He's the power forward in the game, so he has to rebound. That was a big miss by Orlando with 2:30 left now.
Turkoglu on Roy. Now they get the switch. Howard on Roy. Rudy's wide open. The corner. Travis, another 3. This one long. Rebound claimed by Howard. Then he lost it out of bounds, but it's off Aldridge, they say, as LaMarcus had a hand in there.
I didn't see that.
And that would have been Travis's 4th three-pointer of the night. As it is, he's 3 for 5.
That was the shot, but they moved the ball. You notice how Rudy didn't even have it touch his hands. It boom right to Travis. He knew he was open.
He knew he was hot.
Now the Blazers need a stop.
Turkoglu. They get the switch they want. Howard inside on Outlaw. Blazers leave a man open. It's Bogans. He wouldn't take the 3. Bogans to the rim. No. Rebound Outlaw. It was Travis's defense that upset Bogans and caused him to miss.
Boy, and you got a guy like Fernandez in there and Roy both helping out. Guards are all the way. You got 5 Blazers in the paint. That's what you need.
And this crowd starting to head for the exits.
Oh, it's still plenty of time in this ball game.
Rudy. Foul line, fade, front rim and off. Turkoglu the rebound. At least they use some clock. We're closing in on 90 seconds.
Now you got to get back. You can't give him an easy.
Turkoglu. And a foul called on Aldridge and free throws for Turkoglu. That's not what you want.
No, you stop the clock and you give him 2 frees without the clock going. And they weren't going to the basket. There's a time to be aggressive on defense. This is not it unless they start going to the basket. Just keep a hand on the shooters.
Turkoglu split a pair in his last trip.
He is a good 4th quarter foul shooter, so don't think that you're going to win the game by fouling him at the end. Very good. We said first player. He's played for the Turkish national team his whole career. He just hasn't had a lot of help, and they haven't made it to the Olympics because he's the only guy that can really play.
You're forgetting Mehmet Okur, aren't you?
Yeah, I guess.
Timeout on the floor, and it's not over yet as the Blazers kind of into protect mode and trying to use some clock, and Orlando still plenty of life and plenty of time.
The company that's brought America stylishly affordable vehicles has now made it even easier. Now you can get $5,000 cash back on the Kia Sedona minivan and the Kia Sorento midsize SUV. Both come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty and a 5-star crash safety rating. That's 2 incredible vehicles, 1 incredible deal. With $5,000 cash back, how can you afford not to?
Hey, it's no big deal to get pure Northwest water delivered right to your home. Cold Kiss makes it easy. There's no long-term contracts, minimums, or drop-off charges. Check out Cold Kiss bottled water. Northwest fresh and pure.
94-87, Blazers lead it with 129 left. What are they talking about, Mike Rice?
Well, you know, you're talking about 2 things. You don't want a quick shot, but you want a good shot. So he's telling them, don't run it down to 20 seconds and then take a hurried shot with 4 on the shot clock left, as Brandon Roy will be part of this strategy right now. The Blazers have to see how they're going to play Brandon Roy. If they double team him, it'll leave someone open. So the whole offense will start with Brandon Roy at this point.
And offensively, you haven't really had a problem with what Portland has done, but defensively have committed some fouls, some careless fouls, and with Orlando shooting free throws, and if you keep fouling Turkoglu, you're asking for trouble.
Yeah, they could almost go a surprise zone.
Blazers got to get it in, and they do to Aldridge, and now it's in the hands of Roy. Foul on Turkoglu, and that's just the first foul in the last 2 minutes on Orlando, so no free throws here.
Yeah, if the right guys get on the foul line, Fernandez, Blake, or Roy, or Travis for that matter. So the Blazers.
And they get it into Steve Blake. Blake back to Roy. Portland will use some clock.
Sure.
Nothing wrong with that now.
As long as you start shooting at about 8 rather than 4.
And Blake is fouled, and that's the guy you want going to the free throw line. And if they're going to do that, why did you wait 12 seconds to foul?
That really is poor clock management. It looks like an NFL team. You know, they have no idea how to run the clock at the end. NFL clocks don't stop after a first down like in NCAA college. So, you know, I watch that so much, whereas the NBA, usually they are in this situation so much, they know how to use the clock a lot better. But Orlando really was bad.
And Steve Blake, who has missed just 1 free throw this season, calmly knocks down 2.
That was dumb.
Jameer Nelson all the way to the middle and lays it in.
Yeah, they don't want to foul him. 1:09 left. Blazers just want to get it over the line. Roy hurt himself.
Yeah, he just hurt his back.
Yeah.
Lower back, and I don't know what happened. And there's the foul, and Brandon is really
in pain.
In some pain. He's got a new season high tonight. I don't know what he did, and he's even limping on that left leg, but it was a lower back, and I saw exactly when it happened. On the far side, he put his arms up and turned his head to get the ball. Nobody was around him.
Well, they got
and then he just pulled back and winced like he had pulled something.
They got to take him out. They got to take him out. With a minute to go in the game,
it'll be Batum.
Yeah, well, for defense. They're putting him in there to rebound in defense. Yeah, you can't leave Brandon in the ball game in that situation. That's, you know, he's too valuable to even risk in this situation. And Batum can play pretty good defense on Turkoglu or Rashard Lewis and try to rebound.
They're trying to stretch that back out immediately. Trainer Jay Jensen working on Brandon. As the officials and what are they talking about now?
That Brandon,
they're not letting the substitution take place is what they're doing. So Roy is going to have to come back in, but he doesn't have to if it's an injury substitution. And now Bob Delaney being alerted, that's what it is.
Yeah, he didn't realize it was an injury substitution.
So
very important what Blake does on the foul line, and they keep fouling him is unbelievable.
1 minute left.
Back up now. Just let them run that clock a little bit.
So Batum will stay on Rashard Lewis. Now they get the switch.
Yeah, they're switching on all cross picks.
Outlaw gave Turkoglu way too much room, and he hit a 3.
Now Blakey's got to keep the ball. Don't pass it up. Keep it.
It's only a 6-point game. Blazers a near steal. Lewis tipped it, and it's a good thing Lewis tipped it because Batum wouldn't have caught it.
And it's only a 6-point game.
Blazers will take a 20-second timeout. They don't have Brandon Roy on the floor, of course. He's
20-second timeout, Portland.
Got a sore back and is on the floor being stretched. Let's watch where Roy did this. It was the next inbounds is where it happened. It was right after this. You see him wince a little there. Now when he looks for the ball right after that is when I looked across the court and saw him go over his arms right there.
Yeah.
And now he's hurt.
And now the Blazers, they have 43 seconds, 17 on the shot clock. And the last possession, they didn't foul the Blazers. They double team.
And he's going back in. That's good news.
Well, I don't know if it is. I really don't know if it is. If he's got anything wrong with his back.
Well, he just told Nate. Nate asked him, and right in front of us, and he said, "I'm okay."
I don't know about this. He won't be able to check anybody, and you're risking, boy, if something's wrong with his back. Now, they're not going to foul immediately. They're going to double team and try to keep the ball out of Blake's hands. Boy, they're not fronting Blake to push him. They're going to let him catch the ball in the backcourt. Now, that's another dumb move.
Rudy, you don't mind him taking free throws either. Travis fouled by Lewis before he got to the ball. And Nate's telling Rudy Fernandez, we had a little miscommunication. You're supposed to go to the backcourt. Now Nate will buy himself some extra time by stealing the ball from Michael Smith. You like that maneuver?
And they're putting
Roy's coming back out.
Yeah, Roy's coming back out. Smart move. Batum will play, and he can rebound a little bit. I'm butchering his name. I know when I get excited.
That's all right. As I said earlier, don't go a change him to try and please him.
Yeah, right. All right. And that's important. And as we said, Outlaw can shoot foul shots. He's been through all this. So the Blazers have...
it makes it a 3-possession game again,
except
at the very least. And Travis hits a pair, and the Blazers have hit the century mark. It's an 8-point game.
Now they got to run back. They can't give him an easy.
Bogans out to Jameer Nelson. His three is long. Rebound Turkoglu. Bogans will try a three, and that's good with just under 30 seconds left. And now they're going to try and foul again. No, Batum shouldn't have cut for the ball.
Oh, no.
But that's a rookie mistake, and LaMarcus should know better than to give it. Batum just trying to make a basketball play, and you like that.
Yeah.
But you got to think strategy right now.
And Nate
get it into the hands of your veterans.
Yeah, Nate is telling him right now, don't go for the ball. Don't get excited. And right now, Blake is telling Fernandez and everybody that might handle the ball, get it to me. No, you do not want Nicholas putting the pressure on him on this foul line.
But that's his first miss of the season. Now this is to make it.
Yeah, and he's never shot
a 2-possession game
in the fourth
quarter. A full
quarter.
two, meaning 2 3-pointers.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Yeah, he's never had this kind of pressure. So.
And he makes 1 of 2. So now it'll take 2 3-pointers, and Orlando will take time. And that is a 20-second timeout for the Magic.
And the Blazers now have to get a different mindset on defense. They can't afford to help each other and leave 3-point shooters open. They have to check the perimeter, and then as soon as the shot's taken, all 5 guys go in and rebound, and then get back out to shooters.
And that was the problem on the last possession by Orlando, where they got the 3. You get an offensive rebound, and if you're on defense, you've been sucked in looking for a defensive board. Let's take a look at it.
Yeah, see, and they were all in there. Turkoglu very wisely, see, the Blazers are helping out on him too much. They're leaving 3-point shooters. 2s won't hurt you. 3s will hurt you. That's how you get back in the game, and you hope that you miss 1 foul shot. Nicholas did, and now they're within 6 in this ballgame.
Blazers have not won in Orlando since November 24th of 2004. As we mentioned earlier, Orlando's won 4 straight in the series. Before that, the Blazers had won 11 straight.
Now, Nicholas cannot leave Rashard Lewis. He may not be shooting well, but remember, he's a great three-point shooter. He's the guy I think they're going to get involved in this on Nicholas.
Steve Blake directing traffic, putting Rudy out top, defending against that quick look at a three. They're trying to get Turkoglu off a pick. And and Travis goes in and deflects it. Blake picks it up. Turkoglu hits the deck in front of us. Now they'll pull it out. Blake trying to run from defenders. And as the foul is going to be on Dwight Howard.
Boy, and I'll tell you, Travis Outlaw sacrificed the body. And great defense by Travis. He smelled that play out. Tremendous alley-oop pass that Travis is maturing as a basketball player, no doubt about it.
And the free throw good by Blake.
And now they're hitting the exits with 22 seconds to go, but it's an NBA game, and as long as you have timeouts in an NBA game, that's the guy you don't want to put on the foul line, a guy named Steve Blake.
He's 8 for 9 and has 18 points. What a game by Blake tonight. Jameer Nelson nearly throws it over the head of Bogans, but now he steps back for a long two. Delaney says two. He was inside. And we got a foul. Once Travis trying to hand that ball to Blake, and they're kind of laughing about it now.
Yeah, Travis came down. Now, Travis on the foul line is not a bad thing, but let him open it up. Boy, this guy behind us.
He's a Blazer fan from Daytona Beach, Florida, and he walked up and struck up a conversation with you and I in the middle of that last play, and I finally... I pushed my mute button and said, we're on the air. Security is terrific here in Orlando.
I covered up because, I have fans.
He meant well.
Yeah, both liking me and wanting to punch me. So I covered up first, and then I saw he was a Blazer fan.
That's why we were both kind of quiet during that last possession.
Yes.
But that's okay. He's excited.
Hey, long as Blake's on the foul line, Blazers are in. They're in. Can't believe it.
Well, the Blazers, the amazing thing, I mean, you look at history in the state of Florida, all time, the Blazers are going to improve to 26-14. And we'll take a break, and we'll come back and hopefully have the final 10.5 as the Trailblazers an 8-point lead here in Orlando.
My mom.
My best friend.
My father.
My grandfather.
My brother.
Me.
Eventually, cancer touches all our lives. We designed the new Providence Cancer Center to make life easier, should it ever touch yours. Providence Cancer Center. We're all about you.
When I think of November, I think of falling leaves and pumpkin pie and sitting around a big dining table with all of our family.
You know, last year, I had to sit around the kids' table.
Oh, you did not.
The holidays are coming, and if you've been wanting that new dining set, get into Furniture Outlet now for our biggest dining sale of the year. With brands like Ashley, Broyhill, and Emerald. And pay no interest for up to 12 months. It's our best dining sale ever, just in time for the holidays. Furniture Outlet. Brand name furniture, outlet prices.
8-point lead for the Trailblazers with 10.5 seconds left. By the way, our fan who joined the broadcast momentarily is Carson from Portland, who just wanted to give a shout out to his peeps back in Portland. He now lives in Daytona Beach.
Yeah.
So we got that organized and the police escorted him out. So we're all good.
Yes.
Blazers 36 points in the first quarter, then combined for 36, and right now they have 33. So tremendous bookend quarters on this ball game. Is Turkoglu allowed to get the easy two? It's not going to matter now. Outlaw and Orlando, I thought was going to wave the white flag, but Courtney Lee decided to foul Outlaw, who's played a tremendous ball game off the bench. Travis with 19 points and 5 rebounds. The concern, of course, now is Roy's back, and it seems like there's always a concern.
Yeah.
Not necessarily with Brandon, but with every time that we get an overload of good news, something has to come out the air out a little bit.
Well, the Blazers, they're playing a team that lost the first two, and then they found themselves. They won 4 in a row. Their defense was great. But they didn't look at the Blazer bench. And the Blazer bench, one of our keys to the game.
Yes, your X factor.
Yeah, X factor, right? 40-12 Blazer bench.
Turkoglu for 3, and it's off the mark. And the Trailblazers have broken through in Orlando, have snapped a 4-game losing streak, and have won for the first time here since 2004, and have improved their record all time in the state of Florida to 26-14, and now will move on and take on the Miami Heat on Wednesday night. But what a start to the road trip for the Trailblazers as they get off to a great start in the game, shoot 62% in the first quarter and score 36 points. And then fight off the Magic as they struggled from behind. LaMarcus Aldridge standing by with Rebecca Harlow.
I have the big LA with drill and foul trouble. You guys had to play small a lot of the game tonight. How'd you use that to your advantage?
Just try to bring him out in pick and roll, try to take advantage of my quickness, and I think of Travis being quick, and it worked for us tonight.
Last year in Memphis, again tonight, Travis seems to be the key to that big first road win for you guys. How did the bench take the pressure off the starters?
It was good. I think Rudy came in and made some big plays. I think Sergio made big plays for us, so I think this is what we need from them guys.
LA, I know this is good to get this one under your belt. How does this set you up for the rest of the road?
Feels good. I think we can try to carry it over to the next game.
Congratulations, guys.
All right, thanks, Rebecca. LaMarcus Aldridge, a nice game tonight. 16 points and 11 rebounds. It wasn't falling for him offensively, but he had his hands full defensively with Dwight Howard, and that was the important Howard, by the way. The game plan certainly worked in the second half. We'll run through all the numbers when we come back, but the Blazers win the opener of this road trip, 106-99.
It's winter out there, and you've still got places to go. Wherever you're headed, whatever the weather, depend on Les Schwab to get you there. We'll help you make the right choice from a great selection of all-season tires, traction tires, and easy-to-install chains. And remember, a reliable battery is important in winter, too. Les Schwab Tires. We help make getting there safer.
G2 is the smart choice for athletes because it is low in calories. And my mama like it. So if my mama like it, I like it.
Living the G2 life.
I know for a fact that as I continue to play golf, just like I play pool, I'm going to get better at it.
Are you the next Tiger?
I'm the next. If I continue to drink that G2, watch out, Tiger.
Living the G2 life.
If your child is falling behind in school, if your child struggles with math or reading, let them blossom at Sylvan. Sylvan Learning Centers, an individualized approach tailored for each child to build exactly the skills your child needs to succeed. Guaranteed to improve math or reading skills by 1 full grade level equivalent in 36 hours of instruction. If you want to see real results guaranteed, call 1-800-EDUCATE and you could start seeing results by the holidays. See your child's confidence grow at Sylvan.
Portland Trailblazers basketball has been brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. By Spirit Mountain Casino, Oregon's best entertainment destination. By Wells Fargo, seize your someday. By Les Schwab, celebrating over 50 years of pride in performance. And by Standard TV and Appliance, we set the standard. Standard TV and Appliance.
And back in Orlando, it is over. The first game of this road trip, and the Trailblazers have pulled out a victory in Orlando, snapping the Magic's 4-game winning streak. They came into this game with a chance to record their first 5-0 homestand ever. Blazers ruined that and win this ball game tonight. Mike Rice, a great victory for the Trailblazers tonight.
It really was. One that you're hoping for, but you look realistic at Orlando and the weapons they have. How do we stop Dwight Howard without Greg Oden being in the lineup? How do the Turkoglu, and they've got great three-point shooters. So on paper, it looks like you don't have any kind of chance. But in the NBA, games aren't played on paper, and you can't tell the bench, the Blazer bench tonight, Travis, Outlaw, and Rudy, and Sergio, and Channing Frye, just everybody that came in off the bench did a marvelous job.
Well, and again, as we said just a moment ago, the bench was your X factor tonight, and they came through big time. Brandon Roy also 27 points, a new season high for Roy, as the Blazers get the victory. The DriveHomeHappy.com player of the game for tonight. Was even seen as a strength of his game 2 years ago.
Yeah, I was talking to a couple of scouts that said early in his career we told our players to beg him to shoot outside. Now you better not leave Travis Outlaw open. Just a marvelous, and I tell you, his rebounding and what the Blazers, the game plan against Dwight Howard in the second half, marvelous by Nate McMillan.
Spirit Mountain play of the game tonight. For that, we go late in the fourth quarter with 3:19 left. Blazers trying to put this game away. Look at the strength by Roy. Struck on the arm, not on the arm, just on the ball by Bogus. Great hands by Brandon and great strength. No foul on the play, as you can see. But Roy able to catch that ball and still get it down. 27 for Roy, and of course now the concern is what happened to his back. We don't know. He was in a lot of pain as he left. Blazers have the day off tomorrow in Miami, so hopefully they'll get it figured out. Would you mind going by and giving him a massage at some point during
but
the
I
day?
can take him with their son, and we can kind of let our bodies just go
Maybe
out.
a little tennis would help him. I know it'll help you.
Yeah, that's right.
We're off to Miami. Wednesday night, Blazers and Heat right back here on Comcast Sportsnet. That'll be the second game of this road trip, and you think the Blazers' record in the state of Florida is impressive. It's very impressive in Miami. But they got the first one off to a good start. That much is true as the Trailblazers come to Orlando and get the victory 106-99, led by 27 from Roy and 20 from Blake and Outlaw. For our entire crew, led by Chris McMurtry and Scott Zachary, for Rebecca Harlow and Mike Rice, I'm Mike Barrett saying good night from Orlando. We'll see you from Miami Wednesday.
We're launching a great new product served in a bowl. Who knows what it is?
Peas, coleslaw,
melon balls,
prunes,
mints,
little gifts, poppy seed,
curds and whey, buttons, acorn,
shaved ice.
You wouldn't think you could get an entire meal in a bowl, but you can. Introducing Jack's Teriyaki Bowls. Your choice of sirloin steak or grilled chicken on a bed of steamed rice topped with broccoli, carrots, and teriyaki sauce.
Laser pointers, baked trout,
lipstick,
starfish,
glitter,
rain, marbles, kelp,
confetti.
If you are like some drivers, you could be suffering from importitis, the irrational belief that imports are better cars. Luckily, relief is here. The '09 Chevy Malibu. It's a proven winner. Looks great and has better highway fuel economy than comparable Toyotas and Hondas. So say goodbye to imports and feel better about your car. Now get a great deal on Malibu. Plus check out Chevy's financing that fits, where hundreds of banks compete to give you the best rate possible. See your Northwest Chevy dealer or visit ChevyDealer.com.
Coming up on Comcast Sportsnet.
Wednesday at 5 p.m. against Dwayne Wade in the Miami Heat. Friday at 5 p.m. against Chris Paul in the New Orleans Hornets. Saturday at 5 p.m. against Al Jefferson and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Catch all the action on Comcast Sportsnet, your home of the Portland Trail Blazers. Game on.
Welcome to Jay Lee's Automotive Home Court, the post-game show of the Portland Trailblazers. Brought to you in part by Stark's Vacuum, with their low price guarantee every day. Now, here's your home court host, Tony Luftman.
El Mago, the magician, Rudy Fernandez, connecting on one of his 4 3-pointers to help the Blazers to a 7-point win at Orlando. First road win of the season for Nate McMillan's team. They're now 4-3. They've won 3 in a row, and things are looking good. Welcome inside the home court studio, Tony Luftman and Michael Holton. Partner, this is an impressive way to start off this 5-game trip.
No question. You talk about energy, effort, and execution, the 3 E's that every coach looks for. The Trailblazers delivered on all 3 tonight.
Let's go back out to Amway Arena to the guys who called tonight's game, Mike Barrett and Mike Rice. Gentlemen, this was a great way to start off this 5-game road trip.
Oh, indeed. And Mick Foley, the famous wrestler, was just here talking to us, and he's a Blazer fan now, he says. Going to try to make it out to the Rose Garden, but as Nate McMillan will say, I'm sure, talking about his team before the game, talking about wanting it, bringing the energy and the desire, and they certainly did that tonight.
Well, energy and desire. If I could have looked at the stat sheet, the final stat sheet before the game, and on it, it said Joel Przybilla plays 9 minutes against Dwight Howard, and that's all because he's in foul trouble, I would say the Blazers have no shot. But desire, attitude, I mean, they just went after it in the fourth quarter. Second and third quarters, it looked like, oh, the offense is dying. What's going to happen in the fourth quarter? They score, what, 34 points, the Blazers, in the fourth quarter, thanks to great foul shooting by Steve Blake.
Dwight Howard held to 6 points in the second half after getting 23 in the first. So credit the Blazer coaches with that. When you go into the locker room, make adjustments, Blazer coaches certainly did that, guys, and a huge win for Portland to start this trip. And we talked about 2 years ago, that's why Portland was good on these East Coast road trips. They got the first game and set the tone, and that's what this did tonight.
Well, wow, when you talk about Joel Przybilla, 9.5 minutes, no Greg Oden against the league's best center. Obviously, the Trailblazers played hard, they played well, they played together. But defensively, what would you point to that allowed the Trailblazers to be so effective against the league's best big man?
Well, you know, everybody on Orlando's team, they said they have found their chemistry. They've won 4 in a row by moving the ball around. But I thought the guards, everybody was trying to go one-on-one and win the game, and that's what Nate's been preaching to his team. Don't try to win the game. Let the team win the game, not an individual. And I think they went away from their game plan.
Maybe one of those cases that came too quickly, too easily for Howard and Turkoglu, and the other players kind of checked out of the game, and you can't just flip the switch back on. And when Howard tried to, Blazers had made the necessary adjustments.
Yeah, they really got to the outside shooters, but also helped out on him. I thought it was a masterful second-half game plan by Nate McMillan.
Great game plan by him, and well executed, too.
Yes.
Guys, thanks so much. Great working with you, and we'll talk to you down the road in Miami. Wow, this was an impressive way to start off the trip. The Blazers, a 7-point win. 4 more games on this road trip. The head coach has to be feeling good on the other side of this timeout. We'll hear what Nate McMillan has to say after tonight's big win. Travis Outlaw and the Blazers come up big in Orlando.
Jim